right? So
Right.
it's even better, just donate money.
And we buy fresh fruit every week. So we're buying fresh fruit, vegetables, eggs, milk every week. So we need that money for that.
Right.
And if we have a gap in what we've got, then we can buy that too. So
Sure.
it's the financial donations are really great for us. Right now, 92 cents of every dollar goes towards our food hamper program. So we're keeping very tight with our overhead and our expenses.
That is a really good ratio. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
We in the world of food banks can squeeze.
Yeah, so it seems,
Yeah.
So this is more than just going through your kitchen cupboards and taking out what you really don't want. This is getting solid cash is what you guys need, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And I think I'll just throw out there too also for people to think of when they're looking in their cupboards, again, with food insecurity being an issue, best before does not mean bad after. So if you've got a can of soup and it was best before last month, it won't bother you. You can go at least a year without any issues.
I know, right. When they put a best before on a bottle of water,
Yes.
Come on, come on. Now, water doesn't go bad, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm not referring to expiry dates for dairy and meat and whatnot, but best before is not bad after.
I get it too, I do,
Good.
yes. This has been wonderful. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's it for this week. If you have a local event you'd like to share with our audience, please visit us online. See you next week for another episode of The Limestone Lens on your TV.
And you're watching what again? Okay, it's right there. Yeah, it's on your thing here too. And you're watching your TV.
My husband got sick in 2010, and after that it's been a downhill. It's a challenge for me to do things on my own, but I make myself do it. I think it's a great program put on by the United Way, and I enjoy the meals because not a lot of spices and low in salt, which I have to watch because I have arthritis and thyroid problem. Thanks to the United Way, seniors like me get the help we need.
When you're out in Gananoque or you end up in Leeds or you end up in Sealy's Bay, you're transporting that patient for a long time. And it's
Or
rough
you're
roads.
alive.
It's not comfortable to take a patient that's in trauma on the back roads all the way to Kingston Hospital, right? So I want that scope of practice to be able to feel what I can give is the most care I can to a patient, because that feeling of helplessness, I don't like that feeling.
YourTV.tv is our online home. Find videos, our broadcast schedule, community events, and how you can get involved in your local channel. Visit YourTV.tv. We are truly local.
The following is a Your TV sports presentation.
Happy Valentine's Day from Slush Puppy Place. I'm Lindsay Heron, joined by Scott Rogers and Tim Cunningham. As the Kingston Frontenacs look to make a bit of history tonight on home ice against one of the best teams in the Western Conference, the Kitchener Rangers. It's the second and last regular season meeting between these two teams. Kitchener beat Kingston 3-2 in overtime back on December 13th at the Odd. Let's bring up the game matchup board as the Kingston Frontenacs are third in the East Division and the Kitchener Rangers are second in the Midwest Division. So they bring up matchup board. We go to now, as it's going to be a good one tonight, hopefully. With an impressive 18-7, 1-1 away record, the Kitchener Rangers have won 7 of their last 10 games. The Rangers beat the Niagara Ice Dogs 9-1 last Saturday and were able to clinch a playoff spot for the 11th consecutive season. Kitchener is coming off an overtime loss to Oshawa on Tuesday. Their 3-game road trip will shift to Ottawa Sunday afternoon and then Peterborough for Family Day on Monday. Kingston's looking to get a win streak going after picking up 4 of a possible 6 points last weekend. Kingston's coming off a 4-2 victory in Owen Sound on Sunday. Tonight, the Kingston Frontenacs can break the franchise record for the most consecutive wins on home ice as they look to make it 10 straight wins in a row here at Slush Puppy Place. As for Kitchener Rangers goaltender, they're going to send it to the 20-year-old Jackson Parsons, who's been with the Rangers throughout his OHL career. He made 27 saves against Oshawa earlier this week. He's one of the players that's taken advantage of the expanded NCAA eligibility, committing to play for Clark's University in New York this fall. Then on the other side of things for the Kingston Frontenacs, they're going to throw it to Charlie Schenkel, number 37. He's near top on the standings in all league categories. His consistency really paid off. So Schenkel gets the start for the Kingston Frontenacs tonight against what could be a really good big contest. As for players to watch tonight, it's going to be 2 20-year-olds who continue to make a difference makers on the top line. So our players to watch for the Kitchener Rangers, number 57, Trent Swig. He's on the top line with number 48, Christian Humphreys, and number 24, Jack Freedom. Now with Kitchener right from the start, the 20-year-old Trent Swig, the left winger from Kitchener St. Catharines, scored 2 goals in Kitchener in Tuesday's late comeback to Oshawa, including the goal that forced overtime that brought him up to 25 goals this season, tying his career high from last season. Drafted by Vegas Golden Knights last year in the 6th round, Swick now has 51 points in 48 games played, so the top lineup for the Kitchener Rangers, one to watch for sure, number 57 there. And then the other side of things for the Kingston Frontenacs, our player to watch today, number 93, Cedric Gaydon, with Pin, Pickle, and Euronin on the top line tonight. Requesting a change of scenery ahead of his overage year, the Kingston Frontenacs picked him up from Owen Sound in the offseason. The Rockland native had 2-point night up against the Kitchener Rangers in December. The Montreal Canadiens draft pick has 12 points in his last 10 games. And with that, let's go to coaches' comments now, as we've got 5 scratches for each team tonight. We'll get Troy Mann on the latest what's happening with the Kingston Frontenacs ahead of this matchup. So to coaches' comments we go next.
Came home with some injuries from that 2-game road trip. I think fans are most concerned about Will Bishop. That was a bit of a scary scene on Saturday there in Brampton. But Soto also looking like he's probably going to miss some time. And then some sickness going through the dressing room with Pins and Bates, and maybe just some updates on those guys if he can.
Yeah, I think, Bish is doing well, and probably ahead a little bit of schedule. Now we'll see over the next couple days if he can get on the ice maybe early next week. I don't anticipate next weekend, but again, progressing very, very well. Soto probably a little bit ahead of Bish. We're hoping that Soto, gets through here today and tomorrow and potentially can play Monday afternoon, which would be a bonus. Willis is still week to week and ahead of schedule as well, which is great to see because you don't want him out of the lineup 4 to 6 weeks. So hopefully it's more of a 3 or 4 situation for him. And then Pins is with the flu, and he's just having a hard time battling that flu. He's had it, I think this is the 3rd time since the World Juniors he's battled this flu, and didn't make it in for practice again yesterday. And I think that hopefully, if he can maybe respond a little bit here, we can get him on the ice maybe Sunday at practice. Hopefully we can get him in Monday afternoon, but I don't foresee him playing. Well, he's definitely not playing tonight, and I don't see it happening tomorrow either.
Have an event coming up? Need help spreading the word? Reach your community through Your TV. Promote your nonprofit event for free on TV and online. Visit yourtv.tv for details. Your TV, truly local.
Looking back, it definitely was challenging not knowing anyone. New to Canada, sort of learning how things worked, and also being pregnant and figuring how that all worked. But it was wonderful to connect into and accessing services where we had access to moms and playgroups and structured activities and just meeting moms with kids with similar ages. Thank you to United Way and its network of support for helping us integrate as quickly as we did.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Your support, whether it's a donation to support us or volunteering time or volunteering as a foster, means the world to us, and it means the world to those animals.
From Slush Puppy Place in Kingston, Scott Rogers, Tim Cunningham, Lindsay Herron joining us tonight, as well as the Kingston Frontenacs look to set a team record as they're going for their 10th straight home ice victory. Tim, they're up against a tough competition tonight. The Kitchener Rangers. Will start with the goalies. Might be the best goalie in the OHL.
He definitely is the best goalie in the OHL, Jackson Parsons. This is his 44th appearance of the season with a record of 30-10-3-0. And a .921 save percentage. Down at the other end of the ice, Charlie Schenkel, making his 38th appearance of the season with a .900 save percentage.
We're underway. Rangers controlling the puck off the faceoff. That's Reed with it. We'll keep an eye on him tonight. Potential first-round pick in this summer's NHL draft as the Frontenacs go offside.
Yeah, Jackson Parsons, really the backbone of this Rangers team, and the reason, really the number one reason why they are one of the top teams in the OHL.
Yeah, and his name kind of pops off the score sheet for me for a little bit of a different reason. Back in the fall, when it came out that OHL players could go play NCAA hockey, Jackson Parsons was right out of the gate.
Right to Clarkson University.
First guy to sign.
At a minute and a half later.
You bet. And nice break for his family. Might have had something to do with the decision to go to Clarkson. We'll get to that in a second. Reed with the pass across. Shot goes off the blocker of Schenkel behind the net. Ewan's trying to fish that puck out of the skates. Now he works it free, and he'll bring it up ice. Flips it looking for Miedema. Gloved out of the air by Reed. Took a bump there from Gage Hayes. Pridham sends it back to Reed. And the Rangers will complete that line change. Finally, Reed making over to the bench. Last guy off. Puck stolen at center ice by Gano. Got it to Euronen, going wide on his man. Campbell bumps him off the puck. Andonovski, his pass goes off a skate right back where everybody came from. Lamb angles out from behind the cage. Errant pass. Catching up to it is Romana. Ends up ultimately passing it to himself, and he got it in deep back for it is Williamson for Kingston. Turned over to Lamb. Opportunity right in tight here for the Rangers. Lamb got another shot off. Pushed off the puck by Williamson. Down from the point comes Campbell. Puts it behind the net. McGowan just pushes it around for Williamson. He moves it ahead to Euronen. To Gano. Try to get it back to the Finnish winger. Intercepted there by the Rangers. They'll set things up from behind the cage. Completed yet another line change. Great matchup here tonight in Kingston. One of the top teams in the East against one of the top teams in the Western Conference this year. Hopkins steals it at center ice, gives it off for Battaglia. Makes a move, tried to drop it back to Lucas Moore. Back to pick up that loose puck was Hopkins. He had got leveled at center ice after he made that initial play. Soft shot ends up in the near corner, collected there by Arquette, pushes it around the boards. After it is Landon Wright, gets it to Moore. His pass goes off a skate, puck straight up in the air, knocked down by Arquette. Burns there trying to control it for Kingston. Pushes it up the boards, got by Wright, collected by the Rangers. Got a scrambly play right now. Big blocker save there by Schenkel, and the puck comes back to him. Big blocker save as in big rebound is what I meant.
Well, Jacob Battaglia playing on the second line tonight with Landon Wright, and Ben Pickle goes up to the top line to just shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, Frontenacs have a couple of key guys out tonight. Joey Willis is, I feel like this might be the third or fourth game that he's missed so far with this latest injury for him. Matthew Soto, another forward out of the lineup. But really the big holes tonight as we see the ice crew come out to have a look. Will Bishop and Emil Pinediemi.
Those are two big outs on the back end for the Frontenacs.
Yeah, Bishop taking a big hit last weekend down in Brampton. So we'll wait to see how long he is out. And Pini Niemi just out for with the flu, so hopefully he'll be back in tomorrow night or maybe on the Family Day game against Barrie.
Yeah, the Frontenacs play in Peterborough tomorrow night. And, the Fronts have a lot of big games coming up. There are really no easy games. They've got they're going to play Barrie a couple times. They've got Brantford twice here, both times here.
Yeah, we haven't seen Brantford much.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah,
we're going to see all those games at the end of the year. Against
2 games
the
against Windsor, the top team in the West. They're going to got to go to London.
Okay.
Going to play Niagara 2 times, Oshawa. So these are all big games moving forward. They've got 17 games left, including tonight. And
that Eastern Conference is so tight up at the top. We'll talk about that as this evening's game goes along. Ethan Hay asked politely to leave. Here comes Nolan Butter to take the draw against Vermeulen. Clean win by the Rangers, but it ends up on the stick of Riley Clark, and he'll bring it up for the Frontenacs. McNeil back for it. He sends it around the boards. That pass blocked by Butter. Ewan's down from the point, keeps it in momentarily, but away come the Kitchener Rangers. Ellis pushed out wide by Mondu. At the point, Reed just sends it towards the net, right on that K of Charlie Schenkel, and he will hold it for face-off. Hey, see Charlie Schenkel? Well, it's about time. We finally got a Frontenacs mask on him. He's tired of looking at that old Sioux Greyhounds mask. Bad mojo, I think.
Yeah,
he got there. Looks like Snoopy. Looks like Snoopy on the side there. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll get on a roll now.
Yeah. Vermeulen and Hay once again will do battle. No, they won't. This time it's Vermeulen who gets thrown out as there was some early movement by Rangers wingers. It'll be Labrache against Hay. One by Hay. Gets around the boards. Collecting it is McGowan. Ahead for Miedema. Drop feed for Battaglia. Knocked off his stick. Good recovery there by Williamson. Got it over to McGowan to Miedema. Labrache steps in the way of that pass, and ahead of the play was Hayden Ellis. Put his man offside.
Well,
Labrache right there for the Frontenacs.
Labrache steps up in the neutral zone and intercepts that pass, and so far we're only a couple minutes in, but one of the other reasons why the Rangers have had so much success is playing the neutral zone, and they've been clogging it up since the puck drop.
Yeah, Ellis just a little ahead of the play. Labrache a little slow bringing it across. Burns flip feed for Miedema. He one-hands it in. Swick, his path was blocked. Hay gets it to Miedema. To Hayes across the blue line. Chop deep. Back for it, Miedema. Pushed around the boards. Hay controls it. He's got Hayes out front, but couldn't get it to him. Hayes comes in to make a hit, as he is one to do. Ewens cuts off the play at the blue line. Hay comes to grab it, but the Rangers were offside. Almost 4 minutes gone in this first period.
And for Kingston fans seeing the Rangers for the first time this year, we talked about Jackson Parsons, but they've got a great defensive unit, and that's the other reason they play so well in their own zone, and we've seen it with a lot of teams in the West. They do a great job of taking the middle of the ice away, especially in the Kitchener zone.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk with Paul Fixter, who's the color guy on the radio broadcast for the Rangers, and it's no secret, but he said, keep an eye on 18 for Kitchener tonight. He is something special. Euronen across the blue line, looking up front. Pass goes off a skate. Burns couldn't control it, and the Rangers get it up ice. Nice play by Ewens, or else all alone would have been Pridham. Loose puck comes to Gano. Into the slot goes Pickle. Pass doesn't come to him. There's a one-timer by Euronen, and Parsons read that play nicely on a poor defensive effort by the Rangers.
I jinxed him. Yeah.
We'll take that. Campbell plays it down deep, and the Rangers will start a line change. Williamson slowly up ice. Dumps it in from way behind center ice, and that, my friends, is that's icing. That's you go back to paperweight. You should know that you need to get to center ice before you can dump it in, not 3 strides behind. Bit of a brain cramp there for number 27, I think.
Thought Diracalo might have been able to play that puck, but
no. Romano against Gaynor on the faceoff. Clean win by Romano. Shot from the point goes off a stick. Williamson behind the net. Gets it to his partner McGowan. Short feed ahead to Battaglia, and away go the Frontenacs. Euronen with speed across the blue line, trying to get the puck to the front of the net. Ends up going behind the cage, actually up into the mesh, and we'll get a face-off in the Kingston end. There you see Jacob Battaglia, Calgary Flames second rounder. One of those guys that you wonder, will we see him back next year?
I don't know. I wouldn't count on it. No.
Battaglia races after that loose, plays it to McGowan. Shot goes off the blocker of Parsons and up into the mesh. Battaglia saw McGowan coming down from the point on that faceoff, and a nice feed to the defenseman.
Well, it looked like a set play. McGowan goes wide off the faceoff to the far circle away from us, and it's a nice scoring chance.
And that line will stay out there. Langdon Wright getting an opportunity to play with the big boys. Wright hasn't scored yet with Kingston, but every game I watch him play, he is one of the better skaters on this Frontenacs squad. It's great to see him maybe get some open ice tonight. Battaglia after that loose puck. Controls it momentarily, couldn't get it up to take a shot. Away come the Rangers. Arquette chips it across the blue line. Back for it is Williamson. Gives it over to McGowan. Hopkins ahead of the play, trying to get by Campbell. He does. Good sweep check there by Reed. Hopkins with a bit of a hold there, no call. Able to keep his man in check by grabbing onto his jersey, and there's an errant pass, and that will be icing again against the Frontenacs. Tyler Hopkins very lucky, not called for holding on that play.
Well, you're talking about Battaglia in his future. One of the things he does like a pro, he makes a play down low in the Kitchener zone, and then he's the first forward back in the Kingston zone when the puck was turned over.
Yeah, definitely has developed, as the coaches like to say, a 200-foot game, right? Face off to the left of Schenkel. Lucas Moore grabs it off the draw, ahead to right. He'll bring it down the near wing and flip it in. Parsons quickly out of his net. He'll send it right back from whence it came. Moore gloves it down at the blue line, tried to send it towards the net, but the puck was on edge, and away go the Rangers. A couple of Frontenacs collide just outside the Kitchener zone. Hopkins will go to the bench, seems to be all right. Bumped into Adam Kelly. Long pass intercepted by Andonovski. Sent in deep, back for it is Burns. Clark waiting for that puck. Hayden Ellis read it, but couldn't control it. And now the Rangers ring it right back in. Dumped in on Schenkel. He's not going to take any chances. And we're going to have our first break of period number 1. No score, 4-1 shots on goal in favor of the Rangers. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Across the nation, the Canadian Hockey League is known for investing in moments like this. But did you know we're also investing in this? Through the CHL Scholarship Program, clubs award nearly $10 million each year. The CHL, developing tomorrow's leaders.
Back at Slush Puppy Place in Kingston. Kitchener Rangers in town to take on the Kingston Frontenacs. More work being done around the near post of the Frontenacs net.
Yeah, it's the the mooring peg, excuse me, they seem to be having trouble with. Whoops.
Well, yeah, something that we don't see enough of in hockey is fire extinguishers. Yeah, give it another blast. I was not a science major, but I think that's the freezing element that is what they use that fire extinguisher for, Tim.
I'll take your word for it.
I can see you looking down there quizzically. There's no fire, it's ice. Why would they have a fire extinguisher out there? All right.
Well, as mentioned, the Frontenacs will be in Peterborough tomorrow night, and then here for the annual Family Day game on Monday. And I say annual because it always seems to be against the Barrie Colts, and that is going to be a big game with Barrie sitting in first place in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, what's the gap between first and fifth? I don't have my standings in front of me.
That would be
it's a small number.
Well, between first and fourth is 2 points.
There you go.
Niagara's falling off a bit. They're 8 points out. They've been struggling a little bit of late. They're 6 points behind the Frontenacs.
LaBrache being watched by Mondu. Ewens pushes it behind his own net, has some speed going out the far side, moves it ahead to Clark. Parsons out of his net. Kelly just didn't quite have the angle on that play, and the Rangers are able to work it out. Vermeulen across the blue line. Clark catch up to the puck far side, ends up on the stick of Nolan Butter. Wayward pass ends up back into the Kitchener end of things. Duracolo over to his partner McNeil, and he'll flip it in. Ewens reverses. Nobody over there for Kingston. Pridham throws it into the slot, grabbed by Hayes. He gets it to Ewens, and he slams it off the board. Knocked out of the air by Reed. Hayes brings it across the blue line. Shot, good glove save there by Parsons. Might have been partially screened. Good opportunity there for the Frontenacs. 7.5 minutes in.
Well, good shot by Hayes. Great save by Parsons. Do you think he's going to go high with that puck? And Parsons scoops it out of the dirt.
Out of the dirt, you say?
Yes, I'd say. Spring training is open, my friend.
Oh, it's a good time of year. Another couple of months, right? Then we've got baseball, hockey playoffs. If you're an NBA guy, NBA playoffs. It's a good time of year. But really, it's all about, I was going to say April 1st, but now they've made it. It's mid-March now for international games, but Major League season should start April 1st in Cincinnati, Ohio. Williamson bumped off the puck. Swick pinning him against the boards. Hay throws it behind the net. After it is McGowan, but he's harassed. Thrown out front, no look feed, ends up on the stick of Pridham, but he couldn't do anything with it. Miedema gets it to Hay, bounces away from him. Humphreys has it at the top of the zone. His dump in goes off the glove of Ethan Hay. McGowan will relieve some of the pressure, but right back come the Rangers. Frontenacs having trouble getting past center ice right now. Ethan Hay takes it behind the net, and they'll start a change. Then Williamson will man the puck while Kingston finishes up that line change. Schenkel running a little interference, so playful play there. Burns hard up the boards for Pickle, bounces away from him. Andonovski back for the Rangers. Campbell knocked off the puck, squirts free to Andonovski. He gets it as far as the blue line, then Lamb gives it off for Campbell. He mishandles it, taken by Pickle. He'll bring it across the blue line. Teammates catching up, leaves it for Euroning, gives it back to Pickle. A little trouble with it, ends up at the side of the Kitchener net. Off the boards over the head of Cal Ewens, and this should be icing against the Kitchener Rangers almost halfway through period number 1. Kind of not a lot of flow to the game, not a lot of real good opportunities. You might expect this, two good teams trying to, look for openings, a little tentative maybe.
Yeah, the Rangers have clinched a playoff spot already. They're pretty well settled into third place in the West with Windsor going to win that Western Division.
Yeah, as close as the East is. Ooh, dangerous play off the end boards, and then we get a little pushing and shoving at the whistle. As close as the East is, the West is the top 3 teams and then everybody else. It's a dramatic drop after the third place team. Yeah, Jackson Parsons might have had his heart skip a beat here. Whoop, whoop. Pinned that puck right under his skate. Matter of fact, he didn't even know where it was.
Yeah, Windsor's going to get the second seed in the West based on them winning the Western Division.
Right. Pickle has to take that pass on the back end, then can't do anything with it. Rangers get it out of the zone. Oh, here's Humberside all alone. Good blocker save there by Schenkel. Pardon me, that was Luca Romano with the chance. Ends up in the slot again, and Euronin will skate away with it for Kingston. Euronin going for the front of the net. Oh, couldn't get the stick down for the tip, and then goes down awkwardly behind the net. Gosh, it almost looked like he Might have taken a skate to the face there. Okay. Battaglia looks up and sees Ronan still down to the goal line, so he circles back. Ronan seems to be all right. I think he's looking at the trainer maybe to help him with his skate, or the equipment guy to help with the skate. Moore ahead for Wright. Got his stick on it, so no icing. Battaglia far side actually lets it go. Pizzolia up the boards. Lamb gets it by his man. Loose puck collected by Moore. Around the boards it comes for Wright. He couldn't take it cleanly. Moore goes back for it again for Kingston. Gives it to McGowan. Not much on that pass, so he had to act quickly, and that allowed the Rangers to keep it in. Puck squirts free. Battaglia on it. McGowan rubs his man out behind the net. Battaglia over for McGowan. Bounces off his stick. Runs up to grab it and got a shot off Parsons. Adam Kelly far side for Kingston, puts it in the corner for Battaglia. Hopkins has it knocked away from him. Romana takes a hit and able to work the puck up ice. Butter has the puck bounce away from him. Back forward is McNeil. Puck flipped high in the air. Back into the Kingston zone. Mondu back for it for the Frontenacs. Here's it for Williamson. Feed ahead for Kelly. Got away from him. First man back will be Chromiak, former Frontenac D-man. Chromiak back for it for the Rangers. Mondu battling hard for it. Got it behind the Kitchener net. Kelly there for the Frontenacs. Kicks it up to his stick. Little trouble controlling it. There to help him out was Butter, but he couldn't do much more. And away come the Rangers. Pass over for Reed. Shot in on Schenkel, and he'll take that off his K and into his trapper, and he'll freeze it for a whistle with 7:58 left to go in this first period.
Well, it's the seventh shot by the Kitchener Rangers on Charlie Schenkel, who looks very solid in the net tonight. Great rebound control so far.
Yeah, that has been one of the challenges for Schenkel since he got to Kingston, was controlling those rebounds. So far, so good. I'm telling you. Fredo back to the point to Andonovsky. Over for Campbell. Got it right back to his partner. Shot through traffic. Went off the blocker of Schenkel. Cleared out by the Frontenacs. Knocked down by Campbell at center ice. He squeaks across the blue line. Turned back though, and here comes Miedema. Works it to Ethan Hay. Hayes catches up to it for the Frontenacs. Looks back to the point. Burns plays it to the end boards. Miedema not much time to make a play. Back to the point to Ewens. He'll send it right back around the boards. Waiting for it is Miedema. Pass out front for Hay. Actually went off the goal stick of Jackson Parsons, which is laying on the ice. Parsons, no goal stick. At the point. Shot that goes off the body. Never got through to Parsons. Defenseman trying to get the stick back to him, but then Hay skated into it and put it to the end boards. Good pressure here by the Frontenacs. See if they can capitalize on the fact that the Kitchener goalie has no stick. Rangers will clear it. They've got it to as far as the far post. Now Parsons will be able to bend over and pick it up. Burns cuts hard around his net. Passes off for Euronin. Euronin with speed through the neutral zone for Gaydon. Pass goes off a body. Pickle couldn't control it, and away comes Milicevic. Pickle turns it over. Far corner. Pickle didn't realize the puck was right there. Bounces out front. Gaydon. Three Frontenacs within 9 inches of each other. You don't see that very often. Gaydon through the neutral zone. Carries across the blue line. Knocked off his stick. Almost got it back. McGowan at center ice stops it for Kingston. Takes a bump there and is able to get it back into the Kitchener end. Both teams start a change. McNeil will dump it in. Out of the net is Schenkel to play it. He pushes it around the boards, gets by Williamson. Euronin there, gets it to Williamson, knocked off his stick. Frontenacs get it to the blue line. Hopkins passes back to Battaglia. Pass ahead for Hopkins. Being watched there by Reed. Landon Wright saw that pass coming all the way, broke that play up for the Frontenacs, but it's turned over just inside the blue line by Battaglia. Moore ahead for Hopkins. Bounces away from him. Chromiak around the boards, chopped at, kept in by the Frontenacs on the far side. Chromiak takes a bump there from Hopkins. Battaglia comes out of the corner with the puck to the net, tries to go high on Parsons, got that left shoulder in the way, and then cleared by the Rangers. Back for it is Burns, being chased by Arquette.
What a great play by Battaglia coming out of the corner.
Just straight turn to the net. Quentin Burns slowing things down. Shankle and LaBrache.
We don't have a camera on it right now, but Shankle and LaBrache going at it a little bit.
There we go.
A la Sean Avery.
Yes. Kelly behind the net, rubbed out by Chromiak.
Former Frontenac Sean Avery.
Yes. There's a hit on Chromiak. Out of the corner comes Clark. Shot from an angle, stop there by Parsons. And we'll send it away for our last break of period number 1. 4:22 left to go. We are still scoreless between the Rangers and the Frontenacs in Kitchener on your TV.
Your TV on the go. Cogeco customers can now enjoy local programming online. Simply log into your Cogeco account on cogeco.ca. Click on Your TV and start streaming. Your TV is truly local, exclusively on Cogeco.
Alcoholics Anonymous. For more information, visit aa.org.
Back in Kingston, Frontenacs and Rangers. Tim, you were talking earlier about how the Niagara Ice Dogs had struggled recently. They are down 3-0 on the road in Brantford tonight.
Brantford, a team that has just been on fire second half of the season.
They are a team to keep an eye on for sure.
Nick Lardis already goes in tonight with 52 goals.
That's not bad.
It's February.
Yeah, that's not bad. Campbell after the loose puck gets it to the point. Ewens keeps it in for Kingston. Clark, though, couldn't control that puck, and the Rangers are able to flip it out to the neutral zone. Butter banks it off the glass and back into the Kitchener end. Campbell behind that takes a hit from Clark. Far point, Mondew keeps it in for the Frontenacs. Down to Butter. Cross for Butter. Scores! Good pass from Clark to Butter.
Well, I talked about how the Rangers are great on defense, but they became totally puck focused, mesmerized by the puck. Butter's right in front of the net all alone. That is not on Jackson Parsons.
And that's Kingston Frontenac's fourth line. Getting on the board first in this game.
Bonus. If we can span back here, but watch that. Look at all the white jerseys over on the far side of the ice.
Have another look here. Congratulations, Nolan Butter. You know, a better play-by-play man, Tim, would have been ready for Nolan Butter to score. There's got to be a play on words there with Butter. I'll leave it to you. Maybe you can
makes everything better
in between.
It's his second goal of the season.
All right. Reed behind his net. Forced out there by Hay. Swick down the near side, just dumps it in. Schenkel can't stop it behind the net. Humphreys on it, into the slot. Swick couldn't get a stick on it. Reed will keep it into the point. Pridham, high slot, makes a move. One-timer, there's a good save by Schenkel on Swick. Reed at the top of the zone, over for Campbell. After a shot, it's Quentin Burns. Hay plays it to the point. Frontenacs can't get it out. Swick all alone in front. One time there, Swick from Pridham, and it is a 1-1 game.
Well, the Frontenacs again overloaded the one zone, but they're trying to get the puck out of the zone, and they're trying to leave the zone, and they've got 2 white jerseys down in front of Charlie Schenkel.
Yeah, it's right here.
Everybody's looking up, looking east when they should be west, and that was a 2-on-0 on Schenkel.
It's not fair. Humphreys to Swick, and we are tied up at 1.
Yeah, they're a good offensive team, but they don't really have anybody running away with it offensively.
Right. Well, Humphreys has been a nice pickup. He's averaged well over a point a game since he came from the University of Michigan.
Well, Schwick is their leading scorer, and he's 32nd in the league.
There's a backhand shot. Rebound right there off the post. Euronen thought he had one, but he hit the post. Ewens gets it to center ice, no further. Reed off the boards for himself. Knocked away from him by Williamson. Romano tried to make a move, but it ends up on the stick of his teammate. Sent down low. Ewens after it. To Gaydon. His pass out of the zone goes off his skate. He'll just be content to just swipe it out of the zone. Pickle tried to get it back to Gaydon. Missed him. McNeil hard off the boards. Ends up on the stick of Euronen. To Gaydon. Top of the zone. One-timer by Euronen, scores! A broken play ends up on the stick of Gaydon. Saw Euronen on the far side.
Yeah, I think he's got eyes in the back of his head because he sees Euronen coming down through the circle, and nobody picks him up, but he gets a free shot at Parsons.
Have another look here.
Now, Euronen's he's going to come straight down. You can't really see it through the camera, but perfect position, and Gaydon finds him. That is a great pass.
And that is not an easy shot for Euronen either. That was right in on his skates. Frontenacs push it right back into the Kitchener end. Wright finishes his check behind the net. Puck comes back to the point to Moore. Quickly moved over to Burns. Shot along the ice. Oh, Parsons saw that one at the last second and pushed it wide. Right off the boards, he had Hopkins in the top of the slot. Couldn't get it to him. Five players battling for the puck. Finally pops free. And it's Arquette that brings it up ice. Takes the return feed from Gazzolia. Gets it again. Couldn't pass it in front. At the point, Mercer passes off for Gazzolia. Shot through the legs of Burns, and Schenkel saw it at the last second.
That's a great save because you hit right through the 5-hole of Burns.
He did. Schenkel had to be alert on that one. Well, after kind of not much for most of this first period, 3 goals in the last 2.5 minutes. Holy cow.
Well, for the Frontenacs, the key right now is not to get scored on with the last minute and a half of this period. You don't want to get into this kind of back and forth shootout with a team like the Rangers.
Vermeulen wins the draw. Back to Reed. Throws it to the end board. Schenkel saw that play coming, and he puts his trapper down. We'll do it again. 1:24 left to go. Coming up during our first intermission, Lindsay Herron will be at ice level. She'll talk with Cameron Reed, who again very likely be a first-round pick in the NHL draft this summer. And we'll also have an interview with Mike Reeves, the Kitchener Rangers bus driver. He's got a unique nickname. Actually, it's not that unique, but the story is a good story. Stay tuned for that. Chromiak's shot goes off a stick and wide. Frontenacs flip it out of the zone, ends up in the penalty box. What do we think?
Yep, I think that's going to be.
I think it is. I don't think
minor to the Frontenacs.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there was any Rangers anywhere near the Frontenacs player. It's unfortunate. Puck was on its edge, but yeah, I'm afraid that's, well, it's a stupid penalty, but it's a penalty.
Oh.
Because you know, Tim, Gage Hayes
was trying to slow this game down.
Yeah, let's put the puck in the stands and slow it down. Yeah, I agree, Gage. Do it one more time. Throw your hands up. I'm with you. It's the most ridiculous penalty. Faceoff will go to the left of Schenkel. 71 seconds left in this first period. Big face-off here. Hay against Humphrey. Humphrey gets right down on the knee, but Hay beat him to the puck, and then Ewens flips it down the ice quite nicely. Back forward is Pridham. Pridham with speed through the zone. Dishes off for Swick. Burns all tied up with Pridham as they go to the end boards. Ewens pushes it around. After that loose puck is Quentin Burns. He's got time, and now he'll flip it down. Bouncing puck goes to Parsons. With speed, Reed to Swick. Band on the pass, back to Reed. Puck ends up on the skates of Hopkins. Kicked back to the point. Far side, settled down there by Pridham. Sent into the corner. Hopkins flips it down the ice. Good penalty kill so far for the Frontenacs.
Yeah, the last few weeks the Frontenacs have become very aggressive on the penalty kill.
Yeah, you're right, Tim. The first half of the year they were kind of relaxed on the on the penalty kill. Swick takes the drop feed. Shot goes off the shoulder of Schenkel and back to the point, and there's the buzzer for the end of period number 1. Frontenacs go to the room with a 1-goal lead, thanks to the goal by Thomas Uroni. The last 5 minutes was awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
First 15 minutes was, I'm not really so sure, but
a little choppy the first 15
Yeah,
minutes.
that's good. That's actually a great great adjective. 11-9 shots on goal after the first period, favoring the Rangers, but it's the Frontenacs with a 1-goal lead after 20 minutes. Lindsay Herron will be at ice level with Cameron Reed when we come back. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
For a night out with friends, you might find yourself at a ride check. Impaired driving is serious. It can mean losing your license, fines, a criminal record, even jail. Be a designated driver. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Have you ever dreamt of being in front of the camera, sharing the stories of your community, or catching up with the stars of today in entertainment, sports, and pop culture? Well, it's time to turn your dream into a reality with us here at Your TV.
It's an afternoon full of family fun at Slush Puppy Place, brought to you by Canadian Tire. Don't miss the Kingston Frontenacs host the Barrie Colts February 17th. Visit KingstonFrontenacs.com for details.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey buddy, I'm just making my way home now. I picked up some takeout. Not too many cars out, so I should be back soon. I know how much you like soggy egg rolls. I also stopped by George's place. He knows you're taking up baseball this summer, so he got you some stuff. We'll break that glove in this weekend. What do you say? He might have gotten you something else too. I guess you'll have to wait till I'm back. Love you, buddy. I'll be home soon.
Hi, I'm Ann. Tune into Low Impact Fitness on your TV. All you need is yourself and a chair. We're going to stretch and strengthen our minds and bodies. That's Low Impact Fitness on your TV.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. We had 3 goals in 2.5 minutes in the first period of play. Nolan Butter with his 2nd goal of the season for the Kingston Frontenacs. Trent Swick back, no surprise. And of course, we had Thomas Uroni. Joining me, the 2nd-year OHL defenseman Cameron Reed. You've seen Cameron's name a lot in the news the last little while. Of course, a part of Prospects games and on that NHL Central midseason scouting ranking, number 27 overall. So Cameron, congratulations on your success. Great to have you back with us. Congratulations on making the playoffs for the 11th consecutive season with the Kitchener Rangers last weekend. Jackson Parsons, of course, your goaltender, a huge difference maker. We saw him lose a stick. He's so calm, cool, and collected. But as any good goaltender, sometimes they can be a little bit strange. So walk me through what Jackson's like behind the scenes, because he's so polished and professional on the ice.
Yeah, professional is a good word to describe him. No, he's a great guy, great player. He's just like any normal human being, but I'd say he's just mostly the difference maker is just he's professional. He always wants to win. He always competes, and we're very confident with him behind us.
Speaking of professional, number 27 on the NHL Central midseason scouting ranking, that's a lot to say, a lot for an accomplishment, but you've doubled your points from this season to last season. Of course, one of the big things can be off-season prep. What are some things you worked on heading into this season to make you that much more stronger?
Yeah, just bigger and faster, trying to get that those attributes going. But just hard work in the summer, whatever it is. It's out of the gym, on the ice, or just eating in general. You try to do everything the best you can and prepare yourself for the season. So that's what I feel like I did, and it's always the same every year.
Do you have an off-season gym you go to specifically? When you're thinking about getting bigger and stronger, is it the rowing machine, more eating protein? Walk me through kind of what you've been looking at.
Yeah, so I go to Bodies by Peyton's, the gym called, and it's ran by Scott Peyton in St. Thomas, Ontario. Shout out to him, but it's everything, really. It's hard work, like on the ice, in the gym, and especially just at home where you're eating and getting the right foods in you and your sleep. So it's everything combined together that adds up in the end.
365 job, right? Anyways, Cameron, as we wrap up here, you've got the Petes, and then you've got the Ottawa 67s. Is there a theme to practice this week heading into this 3-game road trip? Was there one sticking point? Because we can't count the Petes out. They've burned us here in this building before.
Yeah, no, every team in this league is good, so we just have to come into every game ready. If you're not ready, then it's going to be a close game no matter what, or you're going to get blown out. So we always just have to be prepared for what's to come, and it doesn't matter what team it is. That's our mindset, and that's what we go into every game with.
Cameron Reid, once again, congratulations. Good luck heading to the second. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
Kylie was just loved by everybody. I miss having my arms around him.
I just miss his friendship.
The everyday laughter, the fun, the joy in our home, it's gone.
And I have to live with it for the rest of my life.
To find out how you can put an end to impaired driving, visit mad.ca.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Your support, whether it's a donation to support us, or volunteering time, or volunteering as a foster, means the world to us, and it means the world to those animals.
My time in the OHL allowed me to prepare for life as a professional hockey player at a young age. The development opportunity players are provided by playing in the OHL is unrivaled. Support systems teams have in place help players immensely once they get to the next level. With the coaching, skill development, facilities, and attention the OHL provides, I believe it is the best hockey development league in the world.
On the next episode of Legal Insights with Veritas Law, we'll be focusing on real estate with our guest, Aaron Finn, president of the Kingston and Area Real Estate Association. Join us Mondays at 8 p.m. on your TV.
The Cogeco OHL Player of the Week is Igor Chernyshov of the Saginaw Spirit. The second-round 33rd overall selection of the San Jose Sharks picked up 5 goals and 5 assists for a total of 10 points over 3 games, including a 2-goal performance in a 6-3 win over Windsor, a goal and an assist in a 4-2 loss to the Brantford Bulldogs, and 2 goals and 3 assists in a 10-7 win over the Guelph Storm. Your Cogeco OHL Player of the Week, Igor Chernyshov.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. Thanks for joining us. Well, you see firsthand why Cameron Reed is so highly sought out after and so highly recognized. A real professional running off the ice. So great to have Cameron Reed on the show for us. Kingston Frontenacs 2-1 up against the Kitchener Rangers. Bit of a slow start for both teams, but it's been a good game so far. Well, I am pleased to have joining me Mike Reeves, the Kitchener Ranger bus driver. It's so great to highlight different stories across the league here on OHL tonight. So, Mike, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. When did you start driving the Kitchener Rangers around?
This is year number 8 driving the Rangers. It's funny enough, I read an article online about the Kingston driver recently, and he's quite the... I met him in Kitchener when they were there about a month ago in the media room. And I understand he's 30 or some odd year, maybe 40 years of driving. So, you know, my hat was off to him and that. So they was asking, you know, and said how much longer. So he didn't know, but, you know, so don't know yet. So it's, but 8, this is the year 8. So a lot of fun.
Are you from Kitchener, Mike?
Originally born and raised in Toronto, but we've been living out in the Kitchener area for the last 5-6 years now, Cambridge, and then right now I live in Ayr, which is a little place just west of Kitchener. It's joined on to Waterloo region, so yeah.
So what did you do before you became a bus driver?
Actually, I drove truck for 35 years and been driving bus for the last 11 years or so, so yeah. And as I say, you know, we're 71 now, so we're gonna, you know, see how much longer we go. But you know, everything feels good, so we'll keep doing it.
Good for you. And as we've mentioned, you know, bus drivers are the unsung heroes when it comes to hockey teams. You're not only making sure that everyone arrives safely, but also, you know, driving in some challenging weather. We were talking ahead of time. You've got to go to Ottawa, then Peterborough. So when you are facing challenging weather, how does it work? Do the teams call you and say, Mike, we got to go a little bit earlier? Or do you make that call for them? How does it work relationship-wise with the front office?
Well, I work with a wonderful guy, Dan Leibold, who's the equipment manager. And I guess there's maybe only a couple teams that he hauls the equipment in a trailer most of the time. So we've been, on this trip, we've already been watching the weather and seeing how we're going to work. And, you know, there's not a lot you can do. You go as you go, and if it's slower, the last few weeks, we had to go from Sudbury to the Sioux, which usually 3.5 hours, so it took over 5. Last Saturday night, we came back from Niagara. Weather was horrible. It took extra time, but, you know, and now this, but, you know, we have it easy where we are. There are teams like up in the Sioux and that where they have to travel, and all of us are the same. Like, you know, there are 20 teams. If you talk to 20 drivers, they're going to tell you the same thing. You know, you get them from A to B and back to A as safe as you can.
How did you get your nickname Moose?
The Moose name came my first year, and it was with weather. Well, no, pardon me, it wasn't with weather. We were late November. We were on our way from North Bay to Sudbury, and 2 of them together wandered out in front of me. I didn't see them at first. That's just my equipment guy at the time. He was traveling, Dan. He was sitting behind me. He saw them a split second before I did. I hit the brakes. Coolers came flying up. I knew I wasn't going to be able to stop in time. And luckily, as I got closer, they both looked at me, and one went one way, one went the other way. And I thought it was going to clip one of them, but we didn't, luckily. And so, you know, since then, I've had deer whistles on that bus, and I don't know whether they work or not, but we see them, but not that close anymore. I haven't seen any more moose, that's for sure. So that's where the name comes from, and it's stuck. So that's where we go with.
Now, do the Kitchener Rangers own this bus? What other fancy features are on the bus?
No, I think, again, with every team, it's they don't own the team. I'm not aware of it, but I don't believe it. It's a different bus company. As I say, I drive for Great Canadian Coaches, which is based out of, well, we were in Kitchener, now we're in Cambridge now. But yeah, the team, I don't think any teams own their bus. I'd be very, very surprised. I know there's a number of companies that do multiple teams in our league. So, but yeah, that's what happens there.
Now, as a truck driver, Mike, and then driving the Kitchener Rangers for 8 seasons, is there like a worst stretch of the highway in Ontario that is like the worst drivers collectively? I know we like to moan around here about the GTA drivers in the Bay of Quinte going fast, but is there like a bad stretch of road?
I don't know about a bad stretch of road. I think it just depends. Again, it comes back to the weather, you know, and how crazy you want to be, or you know, you've got to know what's going to happen. You have to know, especially know who's on there. So if the weather is as it's been lately, we have to adapt. That's all. So, but I don't know about a bad stretch or not. You get stretches, like down in Michigan, in Pennsylvania where we go. It's just the same thing. So.
Now, what's your driving schedule tonight, Mike? You're going to take the boys right to Ottawa tonight?
No, we're staying here tonight. We got here yesterday. Actually, it was a beautiful day to drive here yesterday. We've had a bit of a break. It's been snowing like anything back home, too. No, we're staying here again tonight. We're supposed to leave around 11:30 or so tomorrow to go over to Ottawa. We'll see what it looks like there. It's not supposed to be good, but we'll adapt as we go. And then we play there on Sunday afternoon. And then we'll leave right after the game Sunday afternoon and try and get over to Peterborough for Monday afternoon for a family day. And then we'll go home right after the game.
Now, when you drop everybody off, is that where your responsibility ends? Do you have to kind of monitor the bus, watch the bus? What does it work? Once you got everyone to the team, can you just hang out kind of wherever?
Yeah, you keep an eye on that. Like I say, as mostly you'd have to get fuel. I won't need fuel on this trip. It won't nowhere near close to that. So we're fine with that. You try, and I think they're kids, and I think every bus driver will tell you with teams, they're going to be messy when it involves food. So, you'll go and have a quick look. I did the day. We've had time off. We were around today, so we're pretty well set. Everything looks good. So, we'll just have to go and see what the weather brings tomorrow.
Did they give you a Valentine's Day present today?
No. I don't. Maybe this is it. I don't know, because I don't know who. Again, I don't know who arranged this thing. But again, this is a very nice surprise. It's great coming to Kingston. We only come here once a year. And we stay over here at the Holiday Inn. Great shout out, I guess. Actually, we're not there. There's University of Toronto volleyball's there, and somebody else is there. So we're kind of busy there right now. I guess we're playing Queens and what have you. So, but yeah, no, we love coming to Kingston. It's great downtown. After the game, we were out last night. We're at the Keg last night. We're going over here again tonight. And just great town. But as I say, we only come once a year, so which is the bad part of it.
What do you think of the team so far, Mike? Are you much of like an OHL guy? What do you think of this version of the Kingston Rangers?
This was supposed to have been last year, and this year was supposed to be rebuild years. Yeah. And they've done so well. I think before I took this team, I wasn't as much. I knew of them. I wasn't as aware of that. But almost the same time as I took over, my girlfriend's nephew is Jordan Binnington of the St. Louis Blues. So, almost at the same time, we became a fan there, and of course, I'm as hard a fan of this. I live and die this whole thing. So it's a good team this year, really good team. We got to contend with London, and that's tough. So.
Well, Mike Reeves, once again, the bus driver for the Kitchener Rangers, an absolute pleasure. They're wrapping us up here, but we could talk for an hour at this point. I hope this segment continues. Once again, let's go back up. You're watching OHL Tonight on your TV.
Kingston is home to 5 species of turtle that are all at risk. Individuals like you play an important role in helping our turtles, help them cross the road, protect their nests, and most importantly, take injured turtles to get help. Our Turtle Trauma Response Program has locations you can take turtles. Even turtles that appear dead may be able to recover or have eggs that can be extracted for incubation. Visit our website to learn more.
After a night out with friends, you might find yourself at a ride check. Impaired driving is serious. It can mean losing your license, fines, a criminal record, even jail. Be a designated driver. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Hi, I'm Ann. Tune into Low Impact Fitness on your TV. All you need is yourself and a chair. We're going to stretch and strengthen our minds and bodies. That's Low Impact Fitness on your TV.
My husband got sick in 2010, and after that it's been a downhill. It's a challenge for me to do things on my own, but I make myself do it. I think it's a great program put on by the United Way, and I enjoy the meals because not a lot of spices and low in salt, which I have to watch because I have arthritis and thyroid problem. Thanks to the United Way, seniors like me get the help we need.
Have an event coming up? Need help spreading the word? Reach your community through Your TV. Promote your nonprofit event for free on TV and online. Visit yourtv.tv for details. Your TV, truly local.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. Thanks to defenseman Cameron Reed and Kitchener Rangers bus driver Mike Reeves, who joined us on the show for the first intermission. I could talk all day to that guy. Anyways, let's go up to just a scoring recap for the first period of play here. It was Nolan Butter with his second goal of the season, followed by Trent Swick. No surprise for Kitchener. And Thomas Gironin with a great breakaway play. A great setup there by Gage Hayes as well, and others around that line. Let's go up to Tim and Scott to set up the second period of play, guys.
Very good. Thank you very much, Lindsay. There you see Ethan Hay, who took a couple of important draws in that first period, as is his role since they acquired from Saginaw.
I like how he takes faceoffs. I don't know if you notice, he gets thrown out of the circle a lot because he puts his head right almost into the face of his of his opponent.
He is down.
Got a very unique style.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Ethan Hay is not a sniper. His role is that 10-inch dot that is around the ice surface. Tampa Bay draft pick. Let's see what happens with Ethan after this season. Draw one by Misseljevic, and he'll actually get that loose puck and play it back to Reed. Rangers starting the second period on the power play. As Hayes went off for shooting the puck over the glass. Comes to Pridham, waits, wrist shot blocked by Burns. Came right back to Pridham. Pass went right through the slot and ends up back at the point to Reed. One-timer! Oh, that might have gone off that brand new mask of Charlie Schenkel and back down into the Kitchener end.
Well, Burns is hurt from blocking that shot.
I felt it up here.
Yeah.
Reed flips it through the defenseman. Tries kind of the no-look pass. Ethan Hay almost put that over the glass, but it just caught the top and then flipped over the glass. Frontenacs very nearly back-to-back delay of game penalties. Draw to the left of Schenkel. 7 seconds left in the minor to Hayes.
That was my biggest fear with that penalty, is that it's going to come down to in a game 7 of a championship series or of any series. And
Donowski's shot for the point goes off the body and behind the Kingston net. Oh, now it's at the side of the net. Schenkel quickly got his trapper on it, and then a little bumping after the whistle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us. Well, as we often see with teams from the East and West, it's a little chippy.
The West brings out the feistiness in the Frontenacs.
Oshawa played in Kitchener on Tuesday night, and it was a physical game. Oshawa had a 3-1 lead at one point. Kitchener tied it up late and lost in overtime to the Gens. Didn't help the Fronts out at all.
No. Thanks for nothing. Yeah, we're down to the last 18 games.
17, including tonight for the Frontenacs.
There you go.
They are all big games.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
That's right. Gironin over for Battaglia. He'll dump it in. That'll be icing, except Gironin's going to get to it first and popped over his stick.
That was a set play.
Yes, it was, sir. Mercer flipped over for Arquette. Right back to Mercer. Wrist shot goes over the Frontenacs net. Out to Gironin, who gives it off for Gaindo. Gaindo across the blue line. He's got Battaglia with him. Frontenacs starting a change. And Donowski out the far side. Campbell bounces away from him, but he's able to collect it. As for Mercer was in the air, so not much he could do with that. At the end boards is Burns. Good to see him back on the ice. Short pass there for Cedric Gaindo. He will pass over for Gironin. And then go to the bench. Puck comes around to Battaglia. He looks back to the point. Tries to get it into Hay in the slot. That's broken up by Romano, and away go the Rangers. Pass back to Romano. He goes behind the net with Burns. He goes down awkwardly, but is able to pick himself up quickly. Lucas Moore for Gage Hayes. Couldn't connect on that one. Pass back into the Kingston zone. Burns back for it. Plays it over the Rangers out to center ice. Chromiak has it for the Rangers. He'll cut through center ice. Quick shot. Turned aside there by Schenkel. Selajevic, his shot goes wide. He grabs it at the top of the zone. Cycles it back down into the corner. Romano. To the point to Chromiak. He'll skate the blue line. Being watched by Battaglia. A soft dump down low. Schenkel actually is the one that puts it in the corner. Burns all tied up with his man Lamb. Pass for Battaglia. Couldn't take it cleanly. Chromiak will bring it right back to the zone, but it's broken up by Battaglia. Quickly moves it ahead to Hayes. Reed cuts him off. Hay there to play it around the boards. Mondu far side. Mondu went to dump it in. It bounced over his stick. Maybe still riding the high of getting his first OHL point in period number 1. Congrats to young Andre Mondu picking up an assist on the Frontenacs' second goal. Pass in front by Labrache is blocked. Labrache comes away with that loose puck. Back to the point. Ends up behind the Frontenacs net. Mondu takes his man out. Ewens has got a little bit of time to look around. Whistles a pass ahead for Hayes, but the trigonometry was off on that one a little bit. After this Hopkins. No look feed out to right, but intercepted by the Rangers, and back comes Ellis. Gives it back for McNeil. He's rubbed out by McGowan. Wright lets it go. Hopkins will go get it for the Frontenacs. Turns his back on a hit, pops free, and Wright will go back for it for Kingston. It's right up the middle. McGowan will bring it up for the Frontenacs. Gives it to Miedema, back to McGowan. Lost the handle as he hit the brakes. Pridham loses it behind the net. Hopkins has his stick lifted. Nice defensive play there by Humphrey. Swick down the far side, dumps it in. Humphrey's first man on it for the Rangers. Swick far side, he comes together with Riley Clark. Williamson up the boards for Landon Wright. He's bumped from behind. Rangers are able to keep it in. Humphrey being watched by Williamson. Penalty coming up. Curious to see who this is to. Oh,
it's going to be Williamson for hooking. You got his stick caught up in the paraphernalia of Humphreys.
Yeah. Do you think it was caught up because maybe Humphreys was hanging on to the stick?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we'll have a look at it here.
I'm just throwing it out there. Right here.
Right here. Oh, well.
Well, where's the stick? There it is. It's right under Humphrey's arm. I wonder why it's there. Anyway, you know me.
Yeah, well.
I've said it 1,000 times, Tim. They never ask us.
No.
It's probably a good thing.
Maybe Christian Humphreys will have a career in sales after his hockey career because he sold that well.
He did. He did. I'm not saying he didn't get hooked down, but the stick was under his arm, and Williamson was already in the penalty box. Ewens comes away with the Frontenacs shorthanded. Parsons will stop it behind his net. Hay forces Parsons to make a play, which he does. Chromiak brings it up ice slowly. Send it back to Romano. Rangers first round pick last spring. Loses the handle on the puck, and Hay gets leveled from behind before he ever got to the puck. Andonovski at the point. He'll throw it to the far hash marks. Lamb into the corner for Romano. Back to Lamb out front. Schenkel got his trapper on it, but he couldn't freeze it. Romano, far side, wrist shot. Good stop there by Schenkel. Romano takes a bump. Back to the point to Chromiak. One-timer by Andonovski, read nicely by Schenkel, and he's able to make that save. 1:05 left to go in this Kitchener power play. Great shot there by Matthew Andonovski. Schenkel read that nicely, took it right in his midsection. Andonovsky, a 5th-round pick of Ottawa.
And former Frontenac Jacob.
Yeah, Chromiak
has played well this year. Has found a great, landed well in Kitchener.
Well, he did. You know, Frontenacs brought over Pieniniemi and Euronin this year, and that meant one too many, or that with Chromiak that was one too many import players. So they were kind of forced to trade him off. And you're right, Tim. He has landed in a great spot in Kitchener. Pridham. There's enough for Humphreys. Thrown around the boards. All the way back to the point it goes. Humphreys just fires it to some open ice. Pridham is able to keep it in. Swick pressured on the puck, and on that loose puck was Tyler Hopkins, and he fires it down the ice. Frontenacs trying to get a change in. Parsons thought about playing it up ice, but instead gives it back to Pridham with 20 seconds left in this Kitchener power play. Just with the dump in, Hayes first man on the puck. Goes to make a play, knocked off his stick, but there to get it is Ethan Hay. Ready to come out of the box is Van Williamson. In a couple of seconds. Campbell across the blue line for Kitchener. Avoided a hit there for Burns. Humphrey sweep check by Ewens, loses the puck. Ewens pushes it up the boards. Pridham dumps it towards the cage, and Schenkel way out of the top of his crease gloves it. Doesn't take any chances, and we'll grab it there. Almost 7 minutes gone in period number 2. We'll send it away for a break. Frontenacs up by a goal. You're watching the OHL tonight from Kingston on your TV.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Watch your TV on the go. Cogeco customers can now enjoy local programming online. Simply log into your Cogeco account on cogeco.ca. Click on Your TV and start streaming. Your TV is truly local, exclusively on Cogeco.
Back in Kingston, Frontenacs with a 1-goal lead. Just looking at the other scores around the Ontario Hockey League. We'll focus on the Eastern Conference this time. The Bulldogs at home to Niagara, 4-1. Bulldogs up in that one. By the way, Nick Lardis, goal 53 and goal 54. Yeah, so he's continuing his hot streak. Ottawa and Peterborough are tied up at 1. They're right down towards the bottom of the East Division this year. And Oshawa on the road tonight in Guelph, and it's with the Storm with a 1-goal lead, 2-1.
Well, that we'll get to it.
Campbell's shot from the point, wide of the net. Battaglia tries to just chip it to Gaydon, but that only got so far. Comes back to the big winger, and he'll bring it up ice. Dishes off for Gaydon. Try to get it to Battaglia. Around the boards it goes for Euronin. They'll get it to Battaglia behind the net. Tried to get it out front. Not much on that. Comes to Euronin, though. And he fans on a couple of attempts, and Parsons just covers it up as Euronin and Andonovsky glare at each other.
That Pete's Ottawa game, that's the back end of a home and home. They played Wednesday night, Ottawa won. If Ottawa wins tonight, that's pretty much it for the Pete's, any chance of the Pete's making the playoffs. Because of the weather,
yeah,
the Pete's took them just about 7 hours to get home from Ottawa the other night.
I understand, and listen, you know, we love the Pete's fans and we love the organization, but I believe you put the kiss of death on them a couple of weeks ago, didn't you, on the roundtable? Calling out their big comeback. Stay tuned.
I just pointed out that they
watch out for the Pete's.
Had a good opportunity.
Words to that effect. Never mind. Yeah, it's been a tough year in Peterborough for sure. But don't feel too sorry for them. They had a great year a couple of years ago. Gaydon down the near side. He's got a man with him, actually 2 men. Gets it to Battaglia, knocked off his stick. Gaydon just blindly throws it to some open ice. It's grabbed there by Arquette for Kitchener.
I actually pointed out that they had 4 games left against Ottawa, but they had to win all 4.
Nobody cares about the end of the story, Tim. Well, we know the end of the story. Up towards it comes to Arquette, tries to get it to Vermeulen. McGowan will be the first man back for that puck. For his partner Burns. Touch feed by Gaydon. Out of the zone it comes on the stick of Battaglia. Nice passing there by the Frontenacs to get out of the zone. Battaglia throws it behind his back and ends up on the stick of Duracolo. Shakes off a check by Burns. Moore fans on that attempt to play it around the boards. Burns has to come back and help him out. Now it pops to Moore. He'll have another opportunity to make a play. Tries to one-hand it up the boards, but he's all tied up by Hayden Ellis. By the way, for Kingston fans, Hayden Ellis, son of Matt Ellis, former NHL player, played in the OHL. St. Mike's, I think. St. Mike's Majors.
Yep.
Ewens across the blue line. Meadham is going for the net. Tries to get it to Meadham, but just didn't quite have the angle. Ended up being a shot on goal on Parsons. Easy stop for the veteran netminder. Brash gets it to center ice. Chopped up by Ewens. Now he'll get another attempt to get it to Meadham. Off the boards. Vermeulen got a piece of it. Oh, Hayes tried to get it over for Gaydon, who was open. Ends up back in the Kingston end. Nearing the halfway mark of period number 2 here in Kingston. Meadham gives it to Hayes. He dumps it in, and the Frontenacs will start a change. First man back is Swick. Gets it by Gaydon. Sent around the boards. Blocked at the blue line by McGowan. Eventually got by him. Yoronen sends it for Burns. He quickly moves it ahead to Gaydon. He got it into the Kitchener end, but it ends up right on the stick of Jacob Chromiak. Passes off for Pridham. Boston University commit. First man to the puck is Pridham, but he gets tied up and falls down at the end boards. McGowan around the boards. Burns catches up to it. Nice feed ahead for Miedema. Oh, and just offside was Thomas Yoronen as Miedema saw him streaking for the net.
It's about a step offside, but Thomas Yoronen skating well again tonight. As we pointed out several times since the World Juniors, he's really come back a different player. And, you know, we talked about it, you know, he was not with a 67 and really didn't have a remarkable year last year with the, and in very limited time.
Yeah, he hurt his knee, but is coming here in Kingston this year. He was drafted by Vegas before last year when he got hurt. You know, obviously drafting him off his work over in Finland. But boy, oh boy, you know, you take a flyer on a 6th round pick and you see the work he's doing this year for the Frontenacs, and you wonder if maybe the Golden Knights might have caught lightning in a bottle with Thomas Yoronen. Dumped in on Schenkel, and he'll freeze it. Scoring his 29th goal tonight on a really nice shot on a tough, not the easiest shooting position, but still was able to beat Parsons from an angle. There you see Jack Pridham. So he's a Boston U commit, and you know, the Canadian junior hockey now is littered with these players that had committed and not, you know, played major junior, because of course you weren't allowed to. But I'll be curious to see how many of them, you know, because they've committed for next year. Are they going to go next year? Or do you think they'll hold back and hold that position for, hold that scholarship for a year down the road?
Well, it depends on the player, but I would think once you commit, you're gone. It's a great opportunity. A lot of these kids getting an opportunity to play U.S. college might have gone to something like the East Coast League, might have gone to U Sport.
Yep.
That's the one league that's really going to hurt.
Oh, definitely. It'll. I guess it's still early. We really don't know what's going to happen as Landon Wright gets stopped in his tracks and the Frontenacs go offside.
You know, it really depends on you know what your path forward is in hockey. I mean, if there is a path forward, then you've got to talk to your agent, your people.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If there's not a direct path, then get your education.
Let me throw another scenario at you. So one of the top offensive players for the Kitchener Rangers, Christian Humphreys, was at the University of Michigan and left and came back, actually played in BC for a bit, and then ultimately ended up here in Kitchener, or there in Kitchener, however you want to refer to it. Do you see him maybe going back to NCAA hockey, right?
That could have a lot to do. You know, he's a Colorado pick. That, you know, if he stayed in Michigan, I don't think he could go back into the draft. If he's here, he can.
Right. Interesting point, Tim. Right. McGowan passes off for Ewens.
If you're going to play college hockey anywhere, Michigan would be.
Yeah, I think it'd be top 5 or top 10 places.
Yost Arena. When Chris McDonald and I were coaching at Queens, we played at Yost Arena just unbelievable. We based out of Ann Arbor and went up and played at East Lansing, but that Yost Arena is just, you can almost hear the ghosts in it. It's just such a beautiful old facility.
Yeah, I love it. 8:11 left to go in this second period. Who's the McNeil with a shot turned aside by Schenkel? Who's the defenseman? He's just retired in the last couple of years. Played with Duncan Keith. Oh. You told me a story about Duncan Keith when he was at Michigan State. I'll let you tell him. Let's wait for the next opportunity here. Butter got Frontenacs on the board tonight. Looking for that loose puck. It's his partner Adam Kelly that's doing most of the work. Arquette finally gets it. DeRicolo plays it ahead. Riley Clark goes to make a play, lost the puck, lost the stick as well. Shot on Schenkel, glances off his trapper. After it is Quentin Burns. Out to center ice it goes. McNeil lost it. Kelly tries to play it in deep, but he's pushed off the puck there by DeRicolo. Olia pushed out wide by Lucas Moore. Pass in front, tipped home. Johnny on the spot was Cameron Mercer as Quentin Burns just lost his check for a second, and Mercer was there to put it home.
That's right, and Mercer goes right to the net, and that puck just finds him and finds Burns on the wrong side of his check.
Have a look here.
I think.
Oh, you know what? It might have gone off Burns. Maybe behind the net look.
You're talking about the play at Michigan State. We had a Queens player who I will not name. Had a breakaway in the neutral zone. Duncan Keith is in our zone and catches our guy skating backwards.
Yeah,
I will not name the Queens player,
but
lovely guy.
They always are. The guys in these stories that are unnamed, they're always lovely guys as it goes into the Rangers bench.
And a great talent too.
But Duncan Keith,
it was he
really good NHL defenseman later on.
Ryan Miller was playing goal for Michigan State that night as well. So it's a pretty good team.
Sure. So I think they're going to give that goal to Grisolia, because it was, I think, Quentin Burns that got his stick in the way and ended up going past Charlie Schenkel. So Grisolia hopefully picking up his 10th goal of the year. Very Colt. There you go. There's the call.
There's Grisolia.
Dumped in. Schenkel stops it behind the net. He'll try and play it back into the corner. Now he's out of the net. Hay pushes it to the near boards. Meadham is on it. He'll throw it high in the air. Ooh, might have hit Gates Hayes in the back. Meadham had just told Hayes to go deep. I'll hit you. Reed right down the middle. Dishes off for Hayden Ellis. Wrist shot easy. Glove stop there for Charlie Schenkel with 6:19 left to go in this second period. No, I thought maybe we might have the break there. You see Charlie Schenkel's played pretty well tonight. He's faced 24 shots.
Yeah, he's been very solid tonight.
Kingston's only had, I think they've only had 3 shots this period. Do you need to take your shoes off? Are you going to do the math for me? Ewens overskates the puck, then ends up in the far corner. Humphrey back to the point. Andonovsky off the boards. Dumped in by Campbell. Burns has it far side. Tries to jam it past the Rangers player. That doesn't work as Burns took a bit of a short forearm shiver there from the Rangers player. I think it's Swick. I believe he will be going off when the Rangers touch the puck. Euronin taking advantage of some extra power play time. Leaves it for Burns. He makes a move. Pass off for Hopkins. Make that Gado. The Frontenacs don't pass it into their own net. Fine here. Next move by Gado. Crosses the line. Dishes off for Pickle. He catches up to that puck. Around the boards it comes to Battaglia. Lost the handle. Touched by the Rangers. And that will be elbowing the Kitchener Rangers. Swick going off. We'll take that break now. Frontenacs will come back on the power play. We're tied at 2 in Kingston on your TV.
Alcoholics Anonymous. For more information, visit aa.org.
After a night out with friends, you might find yourself at a ride check. Impaired driving is serious. It can mean losing your license, fines, a criminal record, even jail. Be a designated driver. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Here's the hit on Quentin Burns. Bang. Swick with the hit. Like a penalty to me. Not that I'm here to be the defense lawyer for the visiting team, but that was just really a body check and not even that hard a one. But anyway, Frontenacs will take it. They'll go on the power play. They're tied at 2. Checking that shot clock situation. Frontenacs, in fact, have only had 2 shots. So let's see if they can add to that total and maybe add to their scoring total as well.
Hard to score when you don't get the puck to the net.
Yeah.
There you go. My time here is done.
Thanks, Tim. Back to the point to Battaglia. Got it down to Gato. Trying to get it to Hopkins. Missed him. And cleared down the ice by the Rangers. Burns waits. Now he'll bring it up ice. Head for Hopkins. Bounced off his stick. Rizzoli will bring it back. Kingston in, trying to kill off some time. Doing a pretty good job so far. 1 against 3 Frontenacs, and Gato is able to pull it out of the pile. A little shenanigans still at the near boards. Burns and Gritzolia. Yep, Gritzolia is going to get the extra 2. Roughing is the call. And the Frontenacs will have a 2-man advantage for 1:16 or less. Trying to get a line to the referee to plead his case with a little bit of aggression. But
a little animated.
Yeah, that was down to our right. We really, kind of where we're sitting, we can't really see it that clearly. Bertolia. I don't know what happened, man. Just tied up with Burns, and then ended up with a penalty. I don't know if we've got to look from another angle. Frontenacs calling a timeout.
Yeah.
Looking at it as a key opportunity here to maybe score a goal or 2.
Have a look at the penalty here.
And Burns and Gritzolia are all tied up with each other. Well, Burns is holding his stick, but then Gritzolia
It's the extra little shot.
Yeah.
And the referee standing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, quite honestly, in my humble opinion, Tim, that was more of a penalty than what Swick got called for.
Agreed.
We are ready for 5-on-3 hockey here at Slush Puppy Place. Gato, big draw here. Won cleanly by Mercer and cleared out of the zone. So the Frontenacs will have to regroup from their own goal line. Burns catches up to that wayward puck. Over for Euronen. Bumps into his old man. Puts him offside. That's a timeout. Should have been called now.
Yeah, that's a bit of an odd play to have 2 guys on the boards.
Yeah.
At the blue line.
And then to pass it over there.
I think Troy Mann's agreeing with me.
Yes.
Doesn't have to say anything.
No. Battaglia near side. Engaged quickly by Campbell, forced to make a play. Campbell loses that body position battle, and the Rangers get it down the ice again. So far, not much doing on this power play for the Frontenacs. There's Euronen with speed down the far side. Looking back to Burns. Frontenacs will set up now. 30 seconds left in the original minor. Euronen, top of the zone. One-timer, good save by Parsons on that shot by Battaglia.
Well, a goalie like Parsons, you're going to have to get him to move.
Juronen. One-timer by Gato. Not much on that shot. Blocked by Anandovski. 5 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Juronen waits. Wrist shot goes off a leg. Comes to Burns. Out of the box comes Swick. Not much on that pass by Burns. Frontenacs try and dump it in. It goes right in the midsection of Battaglia. Now they've got 35 seconds left with a one-man advantage. Campbell tried to freeze it against the end boards. Swick loses the puck to Hopkins. Rangers really pressuring the Frontenacs. Williamson gets a pass off Miedema. Back to Miedema from Hopkins. Pass back to the point is blocked by Mercer. Here's a shorthanded break for the Rangers. Mercer hits the brakes, throws it to some open ice. Catching up to it is Chromiak, sends it in deep, and the Rangers are back at full strength. Hayes comes away with the puck for Kingston. Comes right into Gritzolia. Miedema tried to get it to Hayes, went through his legs. Frontenacs offside. Romano, good speed through the neutral zone. Good stick check there by Miedema. Chromiak carries across the blue line. Shot goes off his stick. Glove down by Miedema. Looking up ice to Hayes. A little too far for him. Reed over to Chromiak. Ahead to Lamb. Loose in the neutral zone. Comes to Lamb. Open ice. Romano can't get a stick on the puck. Now he does. And it sends it back to the point to Reed. Over for Chromiak. Chromiak takes the feed down low. Puck on its edge. There we go. Now he gets it to settle. Into the blue paint. That goes off a body behind the net, and Malik McGowan will skate it out for Kingston. 95 seconds left in the second period. Back for the puck is Reed. Pass over for Lamb. Tristan Lamb across the blue line. Second round pick of the Rangers last year. Pickle flipped ahead, goes off a stick, but right onto the stick of Cal Ewens, moving in on Parsons. Good save. Rebound put over the net by Riley Clark. Ewens down low, puts it right through the blue paint. Pickle on it for Kingston. Tries to play it into the slot. Swick is there. Pass ahead for Humphrey. Trying to catch up to him is Lucas Ford. Just dumped into the corner by Humphreys. Ewens. Pass ahead for Pickle, goes off his skate into the Kitchener end. McNeil takes a hit there from Pickle. Clark, he gets bumped. Pickle had him free for a second. Now he's trying to kick it out. Clark there as well. Go get a hot dog. No, there, now it's out. Burns has it. Over for Williamson, sends it to the net. It's wide. Pickle after it, tries to play it back into the corner, but that path was blocked. Ends up at the end boards. Pickle and McNeil all tied up with each other. I think this time the penalty's going to go against Kingston. Pridham. In the slot, goes to take a shot. Grabbed by Burns. There's the whistle with 3.1 seconds left. Roughing will be the call. You had to know the next one was going against the Frontenacs.
Yep. Well, it's not a bad time to take a penalty, I always think, at the end of the period, because when you start the next period, there's not a lot of momentum, but it gives you 18 minutes to
for sure,
to plan a penalty kill, excuse me.
So 3.1 seconds left. Draw to the right of Schenkel. Miseljevic will take this draw against A. It's free to Swick, but that will end period number 2. 13-4. The Kitchener Rangers outshoot the Kingston Frontenacs. And they get the only goal of this second period and have tied this game up at 2. Coming up during this second intermission, Lindsay Heron will be down at ice level. She'll talk to Tyler Hopkins, who has definitely turned it on offensively the second half of this season. And we will have this week's version of the OHL Roundtable. Any brilliant projections in this week's?
We had a good conversation about some happenings in London.
All right. Well, let's send it away so we can get to the roundtable as soon as possible. 2-2 after 40 minutes in Kingston. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
Have you ever dreamt of being in front of the camera, sharing the stories of your community, or catching up with the stars of today in entertainment, sports, and pop culture? Well, it's time to turn your dream into a reality with us here at Your TV.
It's a Friday night showdown at Slush Puppy Place. The Kingston Frontenacs host the Brantford Bulldogs February 21st with the spotlight shining on athletes' mental health thanks to Talk Today. Visit KingstonFrontenacs.com for details.
Epilepsy Southeastern Ontario is a registered charitable, non-profit, non-governmental health organization that has dedicated itself to providing support, education, awareness, and advocacy services for those affected by epilepsy and seizure disorders since 1985. Visit epilepsyresource.org, call 613-542-6222 or email admin@epilepsyresource.org to learn how you can become a donor and start making an impact today.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy. Thanks for joining us as Chris Gazzolia has the Kitchen Rangers tied up 2-2 after the second period of play here against the Kingston Frontenacs. Back and forth a bit. Kingston got a good jump, but it's been quite a tic-tac-toe game. A second last shift on this, Tyler Hopkins was on the ice. Tyler joins us now. Hopkins, kind of walk me through what you guys saw from the Kitchener Rangers. As we mentioned off camera here, it's one game at a time. It's a bit of a slog right now. Yeah, obviously it's a lot tougher second half for us. Playing a lot tougher teams and a tougher schedule. Last week, a couple weeks we've been playing a lot. A long road trip in the U.S. and then having to play Barrie on a Tuesday. So, it's taking it game at a time and day to day here, and just trying to get through it and give our best efforts every night. Kitchen Rangers are a big team. You did a great effort with Jacob Battaglia, Landon Wright on your line to kick things off. What is your message? What are you talking to them on the bench? Because we've seen you chatting with Battaglia a fair bit. Yeah, it's just trying to, it's been very tough game so far. They're a good team and they've been playing us pretty well. So I think it's just trying to stay positive and just, talking to each other, staying positive on the bench and, just working hard. You must get sick of hearing this by now, but number 68 on the NHL Central Scouting Mid-Ranking. We had Cameron Reed on the show earlier talking about his kind of future overall. Hopkins, for you, is this really kind of sunk in at this point? You got all the reaction from family and friends as you expected? I don't really try to think about it. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. Obviously it'd be a dream of mine to be drafted, but I'm trying to win here with the Frontenacs right now, and see how whatever happens here will point me in the direction. Speaking of Dropkin Hopkins, I just wanted to mention this because Tim and Scott upstairs have been talking this a fair bit. Players getting the opportunity to kind of choose their own future NCAA eligibility. Would going to school and having a scholarship in their back pocket be something you'd ever consider? Yeah, honestly, with that new rule, I haven't really thought a lot about it. I'm focused on the Frontenacs right now and trying to win the OHL championship here. Tyler Hopkins, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We'll get you back to Troy, man. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV.
I'm talking to you from the Gananoque Arts Network here in downtown Gananoque. We are a community arts network, and we are all about the creatives and those that really appreciate them. We have programs for children, programs for seniors, and everyone in between. Many of our programs are free, and some of them are at cost. Follow us on ganarts.ca for more information. Come on in and join us.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Your support, whether it's a donation to support us or volunteering time or volunteering as a foster, means the world to us and it means the world to those animals.
On the next episode of Legal Insights with Veritas Law, we'll be focusing on real estate with our guest, Aaron Finn, president of the Kingston and Area Real Estate Association. Join us Mondays at 8 p.m. on your TV.
Is Queen's University under threat? On the next episode of Division Street, we discuss some of the alarming things that have been recently unfolding at Queen's with two longtime Queen's professors to shed light on the tricky issue of funding and budget cuts.
People feel miserable at work. They don't feel supported by the administration anymore. People are nervous. Staff people are nervous.
Division Street, Mondays at 8:30.
After a night out with friends, you might find yourself at a ride check. Impaired driving is serious. It can mean losing your license, fines, a criminal record, even jail. Be a designated driver. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Hi everyone, I'm Terry Doyle. Welcome to this week's edition of the OHL Roundtable here on the OHL Tonight with Tim Cunningham. And Tim, we lead off this week with a story we don't want to have to report on, but indeed an incident happened last weekend where London Knights defenseman Cam Allen charged with impaired driving. The allegations have been released by London police. The OHL has announced that he's suspended pending a league review of the case as well. He's scheduled back in court in March, and one of those situations that I will say, at least, he's 20 years old, but teenagers in general make bad decisions at times. And this, if all the allegations are true, is a case, in my opinion, of certainly a teenager making a bad choice here.
Absolutely. And this is a very serious matter. And, the legal process will have to unfold. The OHL has done the right thing by suspending him indefinitely until there is a review. And I'm sure, I don't know what they'll do, but I suspect that they would let the legal process play out before any decision on reinstatement would occur. Thankfully, really thankfully, that nobody was seriously hurt in this incident. Really, we'll just have to allow the legal process to work its way through the courts.
Yeah, and that's where, Tim, when I look at this, first and foremost, that's the main thing that's fortunate, is that no one was seriously injured in this, and it's very lucky from that standpoint. The league has announced that. Where I would see this potentially going, and this is just you and I chatting here, there would be a suspension of, let's say, I'm just using an example, a 30-day suspension, not games, because this has nothing to do with hockey. A 30-day suspension. In that process, of course, showing cooperation, showing remorse, and showing steps to make improvements, i.e. enrolling in a program and showing you participated in a program. But at the end of the day, when I say like a 30-day suspension, still allowed to be around your team and around your teammates, because OHL players, the people around the teams, they're still a family, and you don't throw them away because of a mistake that was made. So I think that's where, at least Tim, and as you said, play out the process. But I think that's where I think I might see where this could end up going. But, other people will make the final decisions. But, it's certainly one thing here. This isn't a hockey matter.
Well, in terms of enrolling in a program, I would suspect his lawyer would say, just stay cool. I mean, these are alleged crimes. It has to go through the courts. He has the presumption of innocence. So I don't think he would be, enrolling in programs to rehabilitate himself before there is a decision by the court.
Fair enough. Absolutely. And I'd see that's the big process as well. And that's the whole thing in all this. There is a process that absolutely has to play out. Well, let's shift back to hockey and the Erie Otters. A couple announcements that have been made this week. First of all, the Waters family announcing they are going to continue operating the franchise, bringing in some people as well, and continue to operate the franchise in Erie, Pennsylvania, of course. And then on Tuesday morning, announcing that longtime former Kelowna Rockets head coach Chris Millett is going to join the Otters as their head coach. And Tim, I think two very important announcements here for the Erie Otters, very positive for the Otters and their fans.
Absolutely, and certainly the first announcement with the Waters family going to carry on running the franchise. That's a great announcement. The Waters family, they're an incredible family, and Jim was first of all very committed to the town of Erie. Anytime I spoke to him about it, he was extremely committed, and he said that right from the get-go when he bought the franchise. And the other thing, he was the face of the ownership, but his wife Sheila was not only his partner in life, but she was, you'd see Jim at games, and she was always by his side, most games, and so this really is wonderful news. And as for Chris Millette, wow, this is a big move for him. I mean, this is somebody that was born in Kelowna, born and raised in Kelowna, played junior in Kelowna, and then came back and coached in Kelowna. So now switching leagues and switching countries, this is a huge move, but he's a great coach. He was the CHL challenge coach when Canada played the US. And this is a big move for Erie and a really positive step.
Yeah, and Chris Millette, a guy who's certainly been around junior hockey, as you mentioned. The Kelowna Rockets, a storied franchise in the Western Hockey League for so many years, always in the thick of things when it comes to contending, hosting next year's Memorial Cup. Previously, they won the Memorial Cup back in 2004, and I think it's certainly a strong addition, a guy who's been talked about around the world, junior circles as well. So I think a big factor there, and two big moves for the Erie Otters this week. Move the Bulldogs franchise made a couple years ago, Tim, was bringing in Nick Lardis from the Peterborough Petes, and it seemed like he really took off ever since going to the Bulldogs, first in Hamilton, now in Brantford. He has the all-time goals record for the Bulldogs franchise as he scored his 52nd last weekend in a game in Windsor, passing Artur Kaliev, who had 51 a few years back. And there's a guy that's sometimes just a new spot and really one of those trades. The Bulldogs bring in a young player and he flourishes.
Well, when the Petes made this deal in January of 2023, they knew that they were giving up a lot. They did get Avery Hayes and Gavin White back, and went on and won a championship. They weren't the odds-on favorites going into the playoffs that year, but they certainly made the most of it. And they knew that Nick Lardis was a big sacrifice, and what an incredible career to have 52 goals in February with a lot of runway left in this season. It's just an amazing season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worked out very well. And that's where a lot of times when these trades are done and people say, well, who are the winners and losers at the deadline? You don't know for a couple of years because you have to see how those young players pay out. Sure, maybe the draft choices we can't figure out. Sometimes they're so many years out, but we have to certainly watch. And the team that brings in veterans, do they have success? This was a win-win. Peterborough won a title that year, and the Bulldogs get Lardis, and he lights it up with 52 goals and counting so far this year. A guy, Tim, who lit it up with points. The streak is over. Easton Cowan, 65 games as it finished off last Friday night against those Peterborough Petes.
Yeah, I would look at this as a positive if I was Easton Cowan. There's a lot of attention on this streak, and you're coming into the point of the season where there are a lot bigger prizes than an individual streak. So I would think, if my advice to him is to look at this as a positive. The pressure's off. Just go back to playing hockey and start another streak and have a streak going into the playoffs. But you have to look at this positively.
Absolutely. No need to throw him out there late in a game with an empty net, for example, as happened a couple times during the streak as well. So all in all, it's like tip of the cap to the Cowboy, as they call him, and then move on for bigger and better things. The London Knights are hoping. That's going to do it for the Roundtable this week. For Tim Cunningham, I'm Terry Doyle. Thanks for joining us. Third period action coming up next on the OHL Tonight.
Any player, regardless of draft status, that plays in the Ontario Hockey League is entitled to a minimum scholarship of tuition, books, and compulsory fees per year played in the OHL. The player's annual scholarship is based on the value of tuition, books, and compulsory fees at the university closest to their home. This is also true for U.S.-born and import players who will receive the identical scholarship criteria but adjusted to reflect their native currency.
Hi, I'm Ann. Tune into Low Impact Fitness on your TV. All you need is yourself and a chair. We're going to stretch and strengthen our minds and bodies. That's Low Impact Fitness on your TV.
When you're out in Gananoque or you end up in Leeds or you end up in Sealy's Bay, you're transporting that patient for a long time. And it's rough roads. It's not comfortable to take a patient that's in trauma on the back roads all the way to Kingston Hospital, right? So I want that scope of practice to be able to feel what I can give is the most care I can to a patient, because that feeling of helplessness, I don't like that feeling.
Have an event coming up? Need help spreading the word? Reach your community through your TV. Promote your nonprofit event for free on TV and online. Visit yourtv.tv for details. Your TV, truly local.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, Tyler Hopkins' face in the second intermission interview with the Kingston Frontenacs said it all. Kingston Frontenacs still have this tied 2-2 against the Kitchener Rangers, but Kingston is frustrated, had a power play opportunity, could not capitalize. We'll go to the score sheet quickly and just show you the goal we had in the second period, courtesy of Chris Grisolia, his 10th goal of the season for the Kitchener Rangers there. Quentin Burns just a little bit off position there. So Chris Grisolia, the lone goal for the Kitchener Rangers, tying that up after Kingston went up 2-1 after the first period of play. With that, we're going to go to Around the O now. This is one of 8 games on the OHL schedule. Tonight, of course, as Tyler Hopkins mentioned, very busy around the league for both leagues this time of year. Erie is over in Owen Sound, third meeting for these two teams. They split the 2 series. Erie's looking to make it 2 wins in a row, and so far they're trying to get coming back. It's a 6-2 against Owen Sound. London Knights have the hold against the Sioux Greyhounds, 7-1 there. London, of course, cruising the past 10 games or so. They've won 3 matchups so far against that team. And then the Sudbury Wolves, Flint Fireworks have it all tied up 2-2 over in Flint. And then the Brampton Bulldogs have the advantage of the Niagara Ice Dogs, 6-1 there. Saginaw Spirit 2-0 over Windsor. Ottawa 67 is a team that both teams will see next here, 2-1 over the Peterborough Petes, and of course Kingston and Kitchener seeing the Petes later on. And then it's 4-2 Oshawa Generals versus the Guelph Storm. Well, as we head up to Scott and Tim, let's go to quickly the visitors and the players to watch from the Kingston Rangers. You might have saw this on the Kingston Frontenacs website for their pregame. Lots of prospects that Tim and Scott have been calling for with the Kitchener Rangers. We'll get the map up for you quick. As Jack Pridham, once again, 37 points last season. Christian Humphreys, another one with 18 points this season. Both Pridham and Humphreys featured in the OHL profile today, courtesy of Joel Wood, if you want to read more about their story there. Matthew Andonovsky, of course, Ottawa Senators prospect, as we continue to go through that list. And I'm going to send it up to Tim and Scott to comment more on this, because as we've seen throughout the Kitchener Rangers, I mean, Taylor Hopkins and Kingston's learning firsthand just why these guys are so dominant, one of the best teams in the OHL. So Tim and Scott, take it away on the list here.
Yeah, thanks very much, Lindsay. And Pridham is one guy that's really stood out for me tonight. Strong skater, a couple of good offensive chances.
Absolutely, and I had another name, Cameron Reed, who's been lights out on the back end. He's such an incredible skater.
Watch for his name at the OHL draft this summer, for sure. Well, my friend, the Frontenacs called a timeout in that second period to draw up, I'm not really sure. They didn't get any shots on that 2-man advantage.
No.
They had 2 at one point in the second period, ended up with 4.
You know, sometimes when you have you overthink things, and that was a power play that falls into that ilk.
Yes.
Yes.
The Kitchener Rangers will start period number 3 on the power play.
This game's going to come down to mistakes. I mean, somebody's, it's a very tight game, and somebody's going to make a mistake, and that's going to be it. It's like I said, the Rangers played on Tuesday night, down 2 goals, tie it up, and then make a mistake in overtime, and the puck ends up in the back of the net. That's the kind of game. This feels like that kind of game.
Yeah, the Frontenacs, for as little offense that they generated in that second period, the only goal scored in the second period was an own goal. Quentin Burns just a little out of position and threw his stick out kind of in desperation and put it right through the legs of his goaltender. Here you see Cameron Reed with speed through the neutral zone, drops it back for Pridham, dishes off for Mislinjevic. To the end boards goes Burns. He's bumped. Ewens comes in to help out. 3 black shirts, 4 white shirts. And the puck's going nowhere. Great work by Ewens and Burns and Hay. And then it pops into the mesh. So that took 40 seconds.
Well, Ewens is a guy that plays so well on the board in a tight situation like that. He's got great hands and great feet.
Yeah, he saw Quentin Burns, what Quentin was trying to do. So all Cal did was come in and just be another set of skates in there trying to block that puck from going anywhere. Burns takes that face-off win and rings it around the boards all the way down into the Kitchener end, where Parsons will set it up for Reed. You know, we were talking about Cameron Reed a little bit. His skating, Tim, it's absolutely effortless. And, you know, 2 or 3 strides and he's by everybody. Pops free and sent down the ice again. Nice play by Reed to knock it out of the air. However, the Rangers will still have to clear the zone. Penalty coming up.
Be a slashing call. Looks like it's
Pridham.
Jack Pridham going to go off for slashing.
Yeah, referee Myers making the call with a fair bit of energy. So maybe it was an obvious call. Pridham not arguing, so maybe accepting the fact that he was involved in nefarious goings-on. Nice to see young fans back there with the popcorn buckets on. That's beautiful. I love it. All right, so 50 seconds left in the minor to pickle. And then the Frontenacs will have a brief power play. For now, 4-on-4. Williamson with a shot. Easy blocker save. Rebound shot over the net by Euronin. Gowan gives it to Gano. Euronin steps into that pass. This is for Gano. Gives it back to Euronin. He's got to be quick to make a play. Not the best angle on that pass. And out of the zone it goes. Euronin across the line. Gives it off for Gano. He steps around his man. Gets the puck back. Shifty forward. Gives it over to Euronin. Back to Williamson. McGowan. Back to Williamson. Williamson steps by his man. Euronin back to Gano. Fans on the one-timer. Frontenac's got to be careful. Now they're back in numbers. Pickles out of the box, so they are on the power play for the next minute or so, or less. Taglia had a roll away from him. Nice play by Hopkins to intercept that pass to the top of the zone. Frontenacs give it right back. Try and take it back. They do. Ronan down into the corner to Battaglia. Took a shot instead of passing. Parsons had to be quick on that one. Loose puck. Taken behind the net by Andonovski. Sent around the boards. Gano is able to stop it there for Kingston and sends it to the point to Burns. Cross ice for Euronin. Back for Burns. Pass for Gano. Steps into it. That's blocked by Andonovski. That hit him on the inside of that right leg. That stung. Battaglia has it get by him. And Andonovski will send it down the ice. And he'll be able to get off the ice. He is slumped over as he goes to his own bench. Ewens ahead to Battaglia. Couldn't get it past the blue line. Out of the box comes Pridham. And both teams are playing 5-a-side as the Frontenacs just go offside. 3:14 gone in period 3.
Hopkins just a step ahead.
Here's Ethan Hay, who's been a nice addition from Saginaw. Frontenacs picking up Ethan Hay, Will Bishop, and Joey freaking Willis. That's his nickname, by the way. Not just freaking, it's Joey freaking Willis.
That's his nickname.
The whole thing.
He's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, he's out. Lower body injury, they're calling it.
Week to week, which
yeah, that's not good. Day to day you can take. Yeah. Week to week is a different feeling to it. Frontenacs gave up about 73 draft picks for those 3 players. Not much of an exaggeration. Parsons makes that stop and freezes it. But you know, I remember you and I talking to him before the deadline, and you know, going through different scenarios and such. And you know, one of us made the comment about emptying the cupboard to get guys because it's about this year.
That's right.
That's next year's problem. That's next year's problem, right? It's about getting ready for this year. And at the last day of the deadline, they picked up those 3 players from Saginaw. 3 guys who won Memorial Cups last year, by the way. So.
And won a gold medal.
Yeah, one of them won a gold medal.
Yeah, gold medal at the World Juniors.
Got some pretty good hockey karma in the dressing room right now. Hayes gets a stick on it. Gets it into the Kitchener end. Hayden Ellis steps across the blue line. A bit of a bump there from Gage Hayes. Sent back in. Parsons a little trouble with it, so he's going to freeze it, not take any chances. With Ethan Miedema right there, we are still tied at 2. Butter and Euronin, the 2 goal scorers for the Kingston Frontenacs. Trent Swick with his 26th for Kitchener, and Chris Grizzolia his 10th. Give him credit on the own goal by Quentin Burns. So draw to the right of Parsons. Bit of a light night so far for the Kitchener goaltender. Only 17 shots so far for the Frontenacs. Yeroni gets a shot off. That goes off the defenseman's stick into the corner. Andonovski behind his net. Yeroni was dumped off to the side, looking up at the referee indignantly. No call. Dumped in by Humphreys. That was net is Schenkel. Burns gives it over to McGowan. Plays it around the boards for Pickle. I'll give it to Burns. Ronan. Pass goes under the stick of Gano. Thrown out to center ice. Back for it is Burns. Malik McGowan throwing a little bit of interference there. Yerona makes a move with the puck. Lost it to Pridham. Colo across for McNeil. Net is Schenkel. Thought about it. Now he puts it in the corner for McGowan. Short feed for Hopkins, and he'll push it ahead for Battaglia. He'll dump it in, and the Frontenacs will complete their change. Charging hard was right. Got there a half step too late, but got away a little bit there. Parsons trying to dump it out. All the way to the top of the zone was Hopkins trying to fight off a couple of Rangers. Taken there by Misseljevic. Passed ahead. Romano waits, going for that pass, missed his man, and out at the blue line is Battaglia with the puck, and he'll push it into the Kitchener end. Loose puck, right had it momentarily, but Romano knocked him off the puck. Reed with the rush, watched by Williamson. Cut him off nicely. Battaglia will take the puck and go out the far side for the Frontenacs. Cuts through the neutral zone with a little bit of speed. Dragging that puck is Jacob Battaglia. Gives it to Yerona, trying to get into a shooting position. Can't. Gets it back to Moore. Dumped towards the net. Comes off the end boards. Parsons gloves it, and we're going to face off to his left. When we come back, we are just over 6 minutes into the third period. We are tied at 2, Kitchener and Kingston on your TV.
Across the nation, the Canadian Hockey League is known for investing in moments like this. But did you know we're also investing in this? Through the CHL Scholarship Program, clubs award nearly $10 million each year. The CHL, developing tomorrow's leaders.
Watch your TV on the go. Cogeco customers can now enjoy local programming online. Simply log into your Cogeco account on cogeco.ca. Click on Your TV and start streaming. Your TV is truly local, exclusively on Cogeco.
Back in Kingston. See former Frontenac, Jakub Chromiak. Again, talking to our new best friend, Paul Fixter, color guy with the Kitchener radio team, and had lovely things to say about Chromiak on the play with Kitchener this season.
Been great with the younger players.
Moore with the puck at the blue line for Kingston, able to push it in deep. Goes down, but good effort there by the rookie defenseman, then finally flipped out of the zone by the Rangers. Burns back for it. Over for Moore. Not the easiest pass to take, but he does. Hopkins cross ice, make that gate off for Euronin. Got by him, and back comes Grizzolia for the Rangers. Cut off nicely there by Quentin Burns, who's got a head of steam out from behind his own net. Long pass was intercepted briefly by the Rangers. Now Gano's on it. Pass through, goes off a stick through the slot and out to center ice. Grizzolia, nice no-look pass, really. Arquette put it behind the net. Williamson knocked off the puck, comes to Grizzolia. Dano there to get the loose puck, gets it to Euronen, who gives it to McGowan. He'll dump it in. The Frontenacs will change up their forward unit. Iracolo to McNeil, and he'll dump it in. Stopped by Schenkel. Gives it to McGowan. Gave it right back to Hayden Ellis in front. Stopped there by Schenkel. Good chance there for the rookie forward. McNeil down low. Miedema had it knocked off his stick. Williamson around for Hayes. Got a piece of it, couldn't stop it though. Vermeulen tried to get it to Labrache. Frontenacs tried to get it ahead to Gage Hayes. No icing. His first man back is Miedema. Tried to get it to Hayes. He's got it. Leaves it there for Hay. Oh, good stick check there. I believe that was McNeil that got his stick on that play. Frontenacs give it up. Back comes Ellis. Nice move on Ewens and then fires it wide. Good chance there for the rookie forward. Good chances at both ends. Burns brings it up for the Frontenacs. Carries across the blue line. Miedema pushes it deeper. Comes to Hay. Couldn't get a shot off. Vermeulen just content to dump it out to center ice. Burns off the boards for Clark. Gets it in deep. Hopkins after it. Battaglia waiting around the near boards. Takes that puck. Throws it to some open ice. McGowan on it. He kind of chops at it. Ends up in the corner. Now behind the net. Clark falls down. Swick pushes it up the boards. Goes off the referee. Comes right back to Swift. At center ice. Moore swiping at it a couple of times. Hopkins swoops in to get that loose puck. He'll look up ice. Puts it right on the stick of Clark. Clark on his backhand. Dishes off. Oh, good save by Parsons on Battaglia. Nice feed by Clark to Battaglia, but Parsons right there to make the save. Moore at the point. Fanned on his shot. Battaglia takes a bump. Frontenacs able to keep it in. Moore was thinking about going into the Kitchener end, but Battaglia was picking himself up and still getting his stick. So he got knocked down inside the Kitchener blue line. Reed back for it for the visitors. Turns back. He'll set things up behind his net. He'll actually let Pridham come in and grab it. Pridham pass to nobody in particular, and that will be icing against Kitchener almost halfway through this third period.
Well, Battaglia looks like he's selling the shot on Parsons when he had that scoring chance, and then makes the move and had Parsons on his heels, but just couldn't finish.
Have a look here.
Great pass. And
yeah, nice feed by Riley Clark, and Battaglia just couldn't beat Parsons. Euronen in the corner, sends it back to the point. Burns has got to contend with the linesman. Gloved down by Euronen. Goes off the body. Jevic brings it up for Kitchener. Couldn't step around Van Williamson. Nice defensive play there. Gets it to Ben Pickle. He's got Euronen way over here with him. He'll play it around the boards, and it'll eventually get to Euronen. He sends it back around. Pickle had it all rolled off his stick, and away comes Campbell. Campbell dishes off for Lamb. He loses the handle on it. Ewens rubs his man out. McGowan pushes it around the boards. Roman's got a little bit of time to make a play. He takes a hit there from Romano, picks himself up. Charlie Schenkel has got the height advantage this time on Romano. Back into the Kitchener end it goes. McNeil. Around the boards it comes to Vasiljevic. Couldn't control it though. That was played back in by Kingston. Miedema with Iracolo. Bumps his man. McNeil there as well. Scrum in the corner to the left of Parsons. Is there any coffee left? Oh, never mind. It's out. Moore has it knocked off his stick. Bringing it up ice is Tristan Lamb. He lost it at the blue line, but Vassiljevic's there to get it. Sends it in towards the net. Burns blocks that play, and Moore will take it behind his net, and the Frontenacs will bring it up ice. Ward head for Hopkins, bounces off his stick. Reed will get it. He'll bring it up ice, sensing an opportunity. He'll bring it up. He's got Mercer up on the play, but Mercer couldn't connect on that pass. Back to Reed. Pass over for Chromiak. Down to the corner it goes. Ritzolia. Shot from an angle, and Schenkel saw that through traffic and was able to make the save with 7:58 left to go in this third period.
Well, this game has just had such an incredible pace, especially this period.
It's feeling like a playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
Eh?
Well, it's, every game forward, we were talking earlier, these 17 games left, they're all really playoff games for the Frontenacs if you want to move up.
Face-off won by Hopkins. Ends up behind the net for Williamson. He's got a man ahead of the play. That's Clark. Missed him, but it goes right to Parsons. So there'll be no icing, and actually it'll turn into an offensive zone face-off for the Kingston Frontenacs. They'll take that. Yeah, full marks to the Frontenacs tonight. They've certainly, they had that two-man advantage, which did not go well at all. But if you look at the fact they're missing Bishop, Pinanyami, and Willis tonight, really strong effort from the guys a little deeper in the lineup. No better example than Nolan Butter scoring his second goal tonight, or second goal of the season tonight, that got the Frontenacs on the board. Riley Clark with an assist tonight. Andre Mondu, who we probably won't see in the third. He's kind of that seventh defenseman tonight, but he got an assist on the Frontenacs' second goal. Battaglia to the point to Williamson. He's back to Battaglia. Wrist shot, that's blocked. Comes back to Williamson. Over for Ewens. Got a shot off, goes off a body, bouncing puck. Nice play by Williamson to keep it in. Can Ewens stretch and keep it in too? Yes. Tried to get it back to Clark, but missed him. And away go the Rangers. Grazzolia 2-on-1 with Arquette. Pass for Arquette goes off the stick of Clark. Good back checking there by the Frontenacs young forward. And Donofsky gets it up to Grazzolia. Leaves it for Vermeulen, but he was on the wrong side of the blue line, so the Rangers had to be careful there. They'll start a change. Tagley across the line for Kingston. Backhands it into the corner. First man there is Pickle. He was content just to play it around for Gato. That didn't work, and away come the Rangers. Up they come. Labrache can't control that, and Schenkel will freeze it, and we will get a draw to his left as Moore and Labrache exchange stiff arms.
Well, the Rangers made a great play in transition, coming back with numbers, and Clark does a great job getting back and just getting enough of the puck that takes away a scoring opportunity. That's what we're talking about, at the beginning of the period. That one mistake's going to be the difference in this game.
For sure. Draw to the left of Schenkel. 6:30 left to go in this third period. 27-19 shots on goal in favor of Kitchener. Hay against Humphreys. One by Humphreys. And Donofsky shot through traffic. Hits the inboards. Hay pushes it ahead to Hayes. He gets it out to center ice, but right on the stick of Andonovsky, and he'll take the return feed back from his partner and decide to skate with it a little bit. Carries across the blue line. He's got Humphreys there right beside him. Gives it to the diminutive forward. Ends up back on the stick of Swick, loose in the slot, and cleared out by the Frontenacs. Touched by the Rangers in the air, but no high stick as the Frontenacs got on it. Parsons makes a save on Hayes. His shot from an angle. Burns will keep it in at the far point. He's got some traffic in between him and Parsons. Puck ends up on the ice right in front of Humphreys, and he'll flip it down the ice. Glove down by Quentin Burns. A little bit of a Peter Intercheck play there by Quentin Burns. Not quite traveling, but
haven't heard that reference in a while.
Never forget that play. Miedema has it knocked off his stick at the blue line. Romano. Speed through the neutral zone. Made a nice move, but lost the puck. Got it right back, but didn't touch it. Thought we were going to get a whistle there. Van Williamson. Nice feed ahead for Pickle. Lamb might have got a stick on that one. Ganon chops it in. Chromiak gives it to Romano. Head for Miseljevic. Reed dumps it in, takes a hit from Pickle for his efforts. Give it a jab back just because. McGowan tripped up, and yeah, you got to call that one because it creates a turnover. And the Frontenacs will go on the power play. Tristan Lamb will go off for 2 minutes or less. When we come back, just under 5 minutes left. We'll be back with more from Kingston on the OHL Tonight on your TV.
Alcoholics Anonymous. For more information, visit aa.org.
After a night out with friends, you might find yourself at a ride check. Impaired driving is serious. It can mean losing your license, fines, a criminal record, even jail. Be a designated driver. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Arrive alive. Drive sober.
Back in Kingston, tied at 2. Frontenacs going on the power play, latter stages of period number 3. Last minute instructions from both benches. There you see Tristan Lamb, the guilty party. Saw him trip up Malik McGowan. It will start with a draw to the right of Jackson Parsons. Gained on this face-off. Won by Mercer. Puck comes around the boards. Battaglia hustles to get to that loose puck. Just flips it into the corner. Euronin on that loose puck. He's got a man in front. Instead goes back to the point to Burns. Gives it back to Euronin. Back to Burns. Tried to get it to Hopkins at the top of the slot. Nice work by the Frontenacs to get control of that puck again. One of the Rangers lost their glove. Shot by Euronin. That's blocked and then cleared down the ice by the Kitchener Rangers. 4:20 left to go in this third period. Burns looking up ice. Sends it back to Cedric Gaydel. He dishes off for Euronin. He's got speed down the near side. He'll hang on to that puck. Tried to pass off. Swick got his stick in the way. Was able to break up that play. Lost it though to Euronin. Gaydel stays on side, able to straddle that blue line. Makes a nice move. Now he's in a shooting position, but dishes off for Euronin. Snapshot, scores! Right over the glove hand of Parsons. Huge goal. Thomas Euronin.
Well, if you gave Gaydon 2 assists, you should. Those hands just inside the blue line to control that puck, get possession back, and then get it over to Euronin. That was just an amazing play by Gaydon and an incredible shot by Euronin.
Yeah, we've seen that wrister a few times this year. That's goal 30 on the season there. Stepping around the check, and then dishing off, and Euronin sees some space under the bar and beats Parsons clean.
And Euronin, just his body position wasn't great when he receives the puck, and he's got to get himself into a shooting position and really off his back heel.
Yeah, a little Mark Messier shooting off the back foot there.
You know, Kingston's done a great job controlling this third period, and they get rewarded for it.
3:50 left to go.
Long way to go.
Every goal is reviewed. There we go. We finally get the go ahead.
From Al MacArthur.
Reed finally gets that loose puck after some mucking about on that draw. Schenkel will play it around the boards. Waiting for it is Gage Hayes. Maybe made a move too soon. Reed gets hooked down by Hayes, and the Frontenacs will be shorthanded.
I was just going to say, this is, you can see this coming, and I don't mean nothing against Hayes. I mean, I didn't want to see them even try to start coaching a game with the stripes on.
Well, Gage got he got in a bad position there.
Yep.
He should have been more aggressive to come back for the puck.
Yep.
Instead,
he stopped
waited
his feet right there.
Yes. I mean, I think young Cameron Reed sold it a bit, but no, you got to make that call.
Yeah, when your feet aren't moving, you got to make that call.
You
exactly.
bet. All right,
But
well,
this
here's
is
a
exactly
test.
how you would write it in Hollywood.
Of course. Of course. Off the draw. Frontenacs push it into the corner. Burns and Hay, they whistle it down as Quentin Burns was in a bad position there, so they'll blow it. They'll do it again. Face off to the right of Charlie Schenkel. That took 9 seconds off the clock. Kitchener 0 for 3 with the man advantage tonight. Frontenacs win the draw. Burns evades his check nicely and then plays it off the glass.
Well, it's a really smart play
Yes.
by Burns not to go the far side, to put that puck on the weak side.
Reed out from behind his net. He's got speed through the neutral zone. Slingshots it back to Prideaux. Bumped off the puck. Back to the point it goes. Reed will keep it in. Over for Swick. Down low. Top of the zone. Reed chip feed. Shot saved there by Schenkel and got his big trapper down. The veteran goalie,
who's been very solid tonight.
For sure. That's shot number 28. And really, you know, we talked about it coming into the game. Rebound control had been a challenge. His rebound control tonight, Tim, I would say has been exceptional.
Absolutely. No, his angling's been great.
It's the mask, I'm telling you.
I agree.
Boy, Ethan Hay and Humphreys have been battling on the dot all night tonight. That was another one. Controlled by the Rangers. Cross ice, off the side of the net. Christian Humphreys with the chance. Hay gets on that loose puck. Aaron pass blocked by Ewens. Frontenacs had a chance to get it out. They turn it over instead. Top of the zone. Reed over for Prideaux. That hits the back of Cal Ewens. Dawson Baker's in the building tonight. A 7-year-old reference.
Blocked 4 shots in one
shift.
One shift.
And one of them was off the back.
Yeah.
Reed across the blue line. He's got Vermeulen with him. Vermeulen in the corner. He's one of the hotter scorers on the Rangers coming into tonight's game. Comes to Reed. Shot. That's a glove save by Schenkel.
That's a confident glove save.
You bet. Yep.
Have a look at the save here. He's moving the puck from the far side.
And Schenkel right out and had Vermeulen right in his doorstep, so no rebound.
The Rangers are going to take the timeout.
I guess so, with 28 seconds left in this man advantage, and they do have an offensive zone draw, so absolutely good time to bring everybody over to discuss things.
It's been a great game.
It has.
Yeah, you know, it didn't start out well, but you know, the last 45 minutes of this game has been pretty good.
Hey, do you mind if we talk a little bit about what we saw in the first intermission from our new best friend?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
Sure,
real quick?
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe Kitchener Ranger fans watching tonight, maybe they may not be aware. So Paul was with the Colorado Avalanche organization for quite a few years. Was their video coach, and he has with him tonight. He brought them from home. He has his 2 Stanley Cup rings.
Amazing.
They're heavy.
Just really. I'm
heavy.
not a jewelry person, as you know. But
well, it's hard
they
for you.
They were.
That was
quite
nice.
something.
Yeah.
It's just you can just
1-1 in 01 when Bob Hartley was the head coach. So Bob Hartley was the head coach of the Cornwall Aces their last year in the AHL. Next year they go to Hershey. They win the Calder Cup. And then he gets promoted to Colorado and they win the Stanley Cup. So nice ride for Bob Hartley and our friend Paul. And then he won one again in 04 when Mark Crawford was the head coach of the Avalanche. Pass into the slot, grabbed eventually by Hay, looking to kill off some time, blows a tire, but is able to get it down the ice just wide as the Rangers have pulled Jackson Parsons. Reed brings it up slowly. He's got a couple of teammates behind him. Hard off the end board. Schenkel out of his net. He'll wait, then just kind of calmly dump it around. Chopped at by Hayes. Got as far as the hash marks. Hay is tripped up as he went to dump it down the ice. And that is a tripping call, and the Rangers will have a man in the box. Yeah, that was a tough spot for Christian Humphreys as he chopped down Ethan Hay. Hay with the loose puck.
Well, the Rangers got away with one with Hay clearing the zone when he missed the net. That was a bit of a chop down as well.
Yeah.
But
so Parsons back between the pipes. Rangers shorthanded. Gato will take this face off against Pridham. And because of some late movement by the Frontenacs, out of the face-off dock is Gato. Lies right on the face-off circle and collected there by Jacob Battaglia. He'll send it around the boards for Euronin. Gives it back to Battaglia in the corner. Back to the Finnish forward. Takes a shot. That goes off a stick wide. Gato throws it to some open ice. Euronin comes down from the point to get it. Gives it to Battaglia. Back to Burns. Quickly over for McGowan. Snapshot just wide on the glove side. Roenick gives it to Burns. He's pressured quickly, so he just throws it to the end boards. Battaglia tried to throw it out front. Bouncing puck ends up on the stick of Cedric Gaindon. He had McGowan coming down from the far point. Couldn't see a path for that pass. Now he'll hang on to it. Gives it to Burns. Shot tipped in front by Battaglia. Beautiful setup. Burns to Battaglia. It's 4-2.
Well, Burns on the back door. Battaglia on the back door, and Burns really with that shot pass finds him, and it's a beautiful goal. And
you know, you watch the pregame warm-up, Tim, and they practice that play, that really tight tip, the tip from where the puck's at your feet. That is not an easy goal, but Battaglia's.
And this is, again, I've been saying, big games, and this is a huge win because Oshawa is up 6-3 on Guelph, or excuse me, on Guelph, yep. And yes, this is the time of year where we're scoreboard watching.
You betcha. Gloved out of the air by Ewens, and he'll dump it in. Parsons out of his net. He'll send it back around. Ewens has it in the neutral zone. He'll wait and then wrist it in. 20 seconds left. Far side. Clark plays it around. Hopkins after it for Kingston. Back to Ewens. Just thrown towards the net. Goes wide. McGowan will keep it in the far point. Mickle trying to just kill off the last few seconds. That will do it. No,
Not
it
quite.
won't.
We're going to drop the puck.
Really? Who runs the clock down there?
There you go.
There we go. That'll do it. The Kingston Frontenacs with a 4-2 victory.
That's I think one of the biggest wins of the season, and because it was a complete team win, and you've got everything from taking opportunities up offensively that we just saw with Battaglia. Defense played well, but more importantly, Charlie Schenkel looked really comfortable tonight, and I think, in my humble opinion, that's his best game so far as a Frontenac.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, full marks to the Frontenacs. Great effort on the road by the Kitchener Rangers. Yeah. They came close to stealing one here in Kingston tonight, but it's the Frontenacs with a 4-2 victory. And that'll give them some momentum going into, well, they got one more game. They got to play Peterborough tomorrow, and then it's a big game against Barrie Monday.
Yep.
We'll
tickets are still available. It's close to a sellout, so get your tickets.
Yeah, in all seriousness, yeah. If you want to see that game here, get on the horn and get a ticket. Hopefully we'll see Emil Pininiemi back in the lineup on Monday. We'll send it away for a break. Lindsay Herron will come back with the post-game show. Late goals by Euronin and Battaglia give the Frontenacs a 4-2 victory over the Kitchener Rangers. You've been watching the OHL tonight from Kingston on your TV.
Have you ever dreamt of being in front of the camera, sharing the stories of your community, or catching up with the stars of today in entertainment, sports, and pop culture? Well, it's time to turn your dream into a reality with us here at Your TV.
Looking back, it definitely was challenging not knowing anyone. I new to Canada, sort of learning how things worked, and also being pregnant and figuring how that all worked. But it was wonderful to connect into and accessing services where we had access to moms and playgroups and structured activities and just meeting moms with kids with similar ages. Thank you to United Way and its network of support for helping us integrate as quickly as we did.
It's an afternoon full of family fun at Slush Puppy Place, brought to you by Canadian Tire. Don't miss the Kingston Frontenacs host the Barrie Colts February 17th. Visit KingstonFrontenacs.com for details.
On the next episode of Legal Insights with Veritas Law, we'll be focusing on real estate with our guest, Erin Finn, president of the Kingston and Area Real Estate Association.
So here's one of my pet peeves: online mortgage calculators.
Oh, God.
Trying to explain to people that you can't just go in and use one of those. Your situation's gonna be different to mine, to your neighbors, to your mothers, to your fathers, or whatever.
Join us Mondays at 8 p.m. on your TV.
On this week's Limestone Lens, we'll find out about the food drive called Give 30. We'll find out how to get a jump start on your spring cleaning, and we'll meet a beautiful cat named Alistair. So join us.
Welcome back to Slush Puppy Place. Thanks for joining us. Well, a 2-goal effort from Trojan Roman. Of course, Jacob Battaglia getting the big goal towards the end of this one. 4-2, Kingston Frontenacs win this game against the Kitchener Rangers. Shout out to Cal Ewens, the birthday kid this week, who's playing his 250th OHL career game. He was clutch for the Kingston Frontenacs towards the end of the third period. Blocked about 4 shots, helped avoid the Kitchener Rangers force it to overtime. Of course, Kitchener lost in overtime against Oshawa earlier on this week. They really wanted this game, but ultimately Battaglia really came through for the team. Well, getting things started for the Kingston Frontenacs way back earlier on is Nolan Butter, who joins me now. 2nd goal so far this season. Nolan, that was a good game. Walk us through what you saw out there on the ice.
Say that again?
Walk us through what you saw on the ice. That was a good game.
It was a close game, like pretty scrappy, but we were just lucky, or we worked through it and we got the win. So.
Thanks, Nolan. I appreciate it. So loud in here with the fans. How was the fans for you? Like, walk me through the atmosphere, because it's so nice to have so many fans here on Friday.
Yeah, the fans have been really great lately, and we're lucky to have them. So.
Well, 4-2 with the Kingston Frontenacs win. They've now tied and actually got a new franchise record for most consecutive wins here at home with 10 wins. So, Nolan Butter, I'll let you get going back to Troy, man. You guys have worked really hard, so you're free to go off the broadcast if you want to. Thanks so much. I'll close out the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nolan. I appreciate it. Once again, let's go through next games as it's busy this time of year in the OHL. As for Kitchener Rangers, Mike Reeves and the boys will be packing up tomorrow. They head to Ottawa for a game on Saturday. Then they're going to go to Peterborough for a Family Day game on Monday. As for Kingston Frontenacs, Nolan Butter and the team, they've got to go over to Peterborough tomorrow night for a game. Then we host the Barrie Colts for our Family Day game at 2 p.m. So we'll see you live here at the Slush Puppy Place this coming Monday. On behalf of Nolan Butter, Mike Reeves, great to have him on the broadcast, the Kitchener Rangers bus driver. We wish you all the best. You're watching the OHL tonight on your TV. Take care.